I need that sports encyclopedia. U.S. Steve Kim. Got Trent in the cut.
What a human.
He's the best.
Yeah.
He's a master motivator.
I'm a master motivator. I ain't no regular ass motivator. I'm a fucking master.
Coaches tried to make practice so hard that the game was less intrusive. Like they coached you that way. Like people think, well, they were just yelling. No, they were trying to put you under stress and put you in under duress so that when you got in the game, you could mentally handle adversity.
If you go through JUCO and you make it out of JUCO, you can make it anywhere.
I respect the hell out of you to see that you're doing what you're doing and still doing what you're doing for real, the way you do it, man. You said from day one you had the same enthusiasm. You keep the same enthusiasm, and it's fucking contagious.
In my opinion, I think Shedeur Sanders is the best deep ball in college football. I don't think
Can you just say something nice about Shedeur Sanders?
I love talking ball. It's nice to connect with guys that are like-minded and just are real and genuine.
And I'll proudly stand up next to you. Oh, God bless America.
You said belt to ass, T-Red. You got the belt around you.
What up? We're in the building, man. It is Merciless Monday. I'm taking no mercy on this glorious day. We're here to see another one. And I guess thank your gods and God and everyone else you pray to, man, because today I'm about to go scorched earth on what's happening here in my hometown. And we're going to dive into it because it's getting to be very, very old. It's very, very old on a Merciless Monday. And I'm sick and tired of the bullshit that us Californians have to continue to deal with. We are bashed by the rest of the country, rightfully so sometimes, but because of our politics and our legislation and our leaders. Let me be clear. Not because of the beautiful fucking beaches, weather, and bitches. Let's make clear. Not because of our food and being able to get into the ocean and go ski in the snow in an hour. Not because of that, okay? All you backwoods fucks who live in fucking backwoods Kentucky who think you're going to tell us that this is a shithole state. No, it's a shithole state because of politics and who our leaders are. And that is fact. Now, I want to be sure we make it make sense because Californians, we're pretty much over the bullshit. Gas prices are the only ones in the country going higher. It's going to get even worse. Food and everything else is still the same while the rest of the country drops. There's a reason for this, and I've been telling you guys for a while. There's a reason why Palos Verdes burned down. There's a reason why we had the Black Lives Matters riots, and now we have this. You know what the common denominator is? Fucking Democrats who are far left activists and paid actors, and it's beyond being old. What the fuck are we doing with perfectly placed pallets of bricks, rocks, and conveniently placed about right in front of ICE locations, right in front of where these protesters, so-called peaceful protesters, if you ask our fucking demonic governor and mayor, who can't get off their fucking ass to be on the ground, but yet they'll talk to you from their $2 million fucking mansions, but yet they don't want to say that it's not peaceful. While they're speaking right to the right of them, there's a fucking riot, looting going on, but they say we have it under control. We don't need fucking Donald Trump and the Marines. Listen and listen good, people, please. I'm from here. I'm grassrooted here. This is where I'm from. This is who I am. There ain't no place like it. Regardless of what all you fucks out here think or have to say with your fucking hillbilly opinions or wherever the fuck you're from, you have no clue what LA is or what LA means. Now, having said that, the far left is ruining it. It has ruined it, and it will continue until it is destroyed. Like I said, I'm from here, and I'm deeply fucking rooted. I promise you, having grown up with nothing but brothers and Mexicans. So I want to bring this to everyone's attention. Why the fuck don't I know one person protesting? Why the fuck don't any of my homies know one person protesting? If everybody's so fucking upset and think that they have had the right to be here illegally and they're pissed off about getting deported back, why don't I know one motherfucker? Why don't none of my homies know one motherfucker, homie? Let me riddle me that. But we're burning shit. We're looting once again, fighting cops. Why, homie? Why don't any one of my homies know one fucking person out here in the streets doing this shit? Because number one, they're fucking legal. Number two, they're paid actors. It ain't no fucking hood homies out here doing this shit. Homie, wake the fuck up. I would know. The one woman who is actually real out there yesterday fighting was a legal Mexican migrant, LA resident, who had her kid murdered by illegal immigrants after she was raped. That was the real person calling out these paid actors who are fucking grabbing conveniently placed pallet bricks and throwing them at fucking law enforcement. It makes zero sense, people. Let me hip you to some game real quick. If you're from LA and you're a legal illegal, let me call it that because that's what I grew up with. Let's be real. Let's call it legal illegals. All right. A lot of the homies and all those type of cats we all know one of those legal illegals. You are happy to be in LA or in America. You're proud and you're fucking quiet as a church house mouse and you're fucking out the way. You aren't waving Mexican flags in the streets of LA, homie. Let me make sure that we're clear on the irony of this comical fucking waving of flags from another country. But you fucking idiots out there believe everything you see, and all you go to is bashing LA and California. How fucked up California is. Nah, let's keep it funky. Let me get this right. You are waving your country's flag, the one you fucking snuck out of. Currently in the country you live in, which is America, the United States, in particular Los Angeles, who house more Latinos than any other city in America. Got it. So if it is so fucking great, homie, go back there. It's very simple. I've never understood why people protest ICE as they wave around foreign flags of countries they claim to be proud of and where they claim to be from. If you're so proud of those countries, why are you fighting so hard not to be sent back there? The math ain't mathin', homie. But anyways, what do I know? Let's start the show. I can rant this thing all fucking day long. Let's bring in my main man, my Far East Sider, Naptown legend. We missed him on Friday. LeBron hairline having, Lamar Jackson loving, and AR5 defending. Caitlin Clark jocking. Indiana Pacers loving. Big Smitty joins us.
What's going on, y'all? What's going on? After that intro, I don't know if I can come in here laughing and smiling. You know what I'm saying? This different topic, different energy, but I'm excited to be back here. Was upset I couldn't be here on Friday. Was traveling back here. Shout out to my little sister for graduating high school, man. Off to college here in a couple months. Super proud of her, man. But excited to be back. What's going on, chat? So we got some new faces in here, man. Manly Fresh Podcast, Heavy D, Brandon Bailey, Cole Vaden. We got Christopher DeBono, of course. Some legends, T Mix and B Nickel, some of our original people in here as well, man. So shout out to y'all. So but man, JB, I see you got some passion in your voice, man, about your city, about your state. I hear it. I definitely hear it. Some stuff I'm with. Some stuff I've seen that, you know, anytime there's a protest, there's going to be protesters who are not peaceful. Unfortunately, that's part of it. You know, it might be 90% who's doing it the right way, but the 10% who's out there throwing rocks at cars or whatever are going to be highlighted, and those are going to be the ones that people are going to use to say, see, this is why X, Y, Z, and everything's happening. Protests are something that's been allowed, and that's a part of the Constitution that we're allowed to do here. So if you're passionate behind something, that's what we're allowed to do here. Me and you, we've argued about this so many times and went back and forth, and I can talk about it till I'm blue in the face. I have my opinion as far as illegals coming over here. I just look at it from a standpoint of, I know how I grew up. I grew up poor. I grew up broke, and I grew up to where I didn't have much. If I grew up that same way, and I just so happen to be in Mexico or wherever the case may be, who knows what my parents or whoever would have did to try to give me a better life. So that's ultimately where my stance always comes from. And I was thinking about this last night. I was like, man, I'm actually kind of surprised that JB is so strong. Like, I get it because you're from here, but I'm almost surprised you're so strongly like opposite of me when it comes from that, because knowing who you actually are as a person and knowing how like you will take your shirt off your back to make sure the person next to you is good, and you're selfless in terms of whether it's helping a friend out, helping people out when it comes to finances, little stuff like cooking for all your homies and investing the time and energy to make sure we're all good when we come over the house. And obviously you're a coach and you helped out thousands of players throughout your life. So when I think about just who you are foundationally, and like, I know you have a big heart. So then when I try to fast forward it and connect it to this topic, it's just kind of surprising that you don't understand why the quote unquote, I hate even calling them that, but the illegals, that's what we're going to call them, are doing what they're doing, knowing that you grew up, had to live in your car, you grew up all this and the third. I don't see how you don't even like mentally understand how like a father of a family who's in Mexico, who's struggling for opportunity out there, or it's just not safe because of the situation, the environment they're in, would illegally come over here to provide a better life for their family. Like I saw something yesterday. I took a screenshot. I want to make sure I read it real quick before you jump back in. I thought it was just interesting. Not even sure who posted, but it just said, a reminder that our greatest blessings are the circumstances that we are born into, including when and where we're born. Our citizenship and place of residence is either dumb luck or often a reflection of our parents' sacrifices, but a privilege nonetheless. It is a privilege that we aren't owed or guaranteed. It is one borrowed in this lifetime. And then at the end, it just says, check yourself before you judge acts of desperation you are so lucky to know nothing about. And I couldn't agree more. Like, when I was born, like, I had no control where I was born. I had no control where I was going to live at, what state, what city, what country, any of that. There's probably 1,000 Darnell Smiths in Mexico, 1,000 Darnell Smiths in China, 1,000 Darnell Smiths anywhere else. And those kids or whatever growing up in whatever conditions they're growing up in, it's not their fault. So if they're in a situation where their parents want to, make that sacrifice or whatever to give them a better life, I just understand that. So I'm just explaining just my foundational thoughts of why we're opposite on this. Again, it's not about, do I agree with 100% with everything that's going on? No, I don't. But foundationally, I just don't think that some of the stuff that I've seen over the last like couple months with ICE and how they're pulling up and they're separating families, I just don't know if that's the best route to go, because there have been, some illegals committing crimes and some illegals committing, like, we're punishing the entire group because of a handful of people who are committing crimes. Like, I just don't think that's the best route. That's just my opinion.
The reason why we don't agree is because you're young and naive, and that's really the simple fact. I don't know one brother. You know why I cook for all the homies? Because they all understand what I'm on. That's why, homie. Like, they actually understand what I'm on, and they're actually with me on this. These are all hood cats, blood, Damus, homie, straight essays, 18th Street, Florencia, Tortilla Flats, the 7 O's, where I'm from, homie. I got this, homie. I promise you. Motherfuckers know who I am. Not one of them, homie, did it illegally. I don't understand why you young brothers don't grasp that concept. Smitty, you're not going to Mexico, homie, and there's not 1,000 of you nowhere in fucking Mexico. There's not 1,000 of you in China or Russia, homie. Stop using those fucking stupid examples.
Why is that stupid example? I never said I wanted to go there.
No,
America is the best country, so we're not trying to
let me finish. I let you talk for an hour. Let me finish.
Well, I'm gonna keep talking, homie. My name's on the show fucking too. You got a whole intro, homie.
Hold on, no shit.
The shit I said wasn't stupid.
Hold on, no. I didn't say it's stupid. You just said there's 1,000 of you in Mexico. Did you not?
I said what?
You said there was 1,000 of Darnell Smiths in Mexico, in China.
No,
that's
I'm
what you
saying
said.
black people. I'm saying people who grew up like me, who are regular ass fucking kids.
No, there's not, homie. There's not 1,000 of you, homie. Like, I don't understand why your young ass don't grasp this concept. Right. So when something happens to a Lincoln Riley, though, it's okay, right? That's not a problem, right? You know how many of those occur in America, homie, by illegals? I don't know why you keep defending these motherfuckers. That's what I don't understand. If you just said eloquently, as you stated, you know me in my heart and what I would do for you or whoever, then I don't understand why on the other side you think I'm against the right part of this. Like, it makes zero sense what you're saying, homie. If you think you say you know me and what I'm about, then why the fuck do you think I'm going to steer you wrong on the other side, homie? Make it make sense.
I'm confused too.
Because you're confused.
They don't make
you're confused, Smitty. You're fucking confused, homie.
You're joking about ice
because
coming
you're
on
confused.
Back and you're excited for it and disrespecting them.
Because you're confused, homie. You're confused. That's why you said it. You're fucking confused. No, you don't hear me, homie. You don't hear me. But you will understand me in about 10 years when you fucking like, damn, that motherfucker's right. Because for whatever reason, you just think that the illegal part of this is okay. You act like we can go to China and do this or Russia. Homie, that's what I'm saying. You're numb to this. You're numb to us allowing folks in here and doing whatever the fuck they want, Smitty. I'm telling you I'm not steering you wrong, homie. I'm trying to keep it funky. They're allowing it. We have become numb to illegals or to people doing wrong, and we think that it's going to get better. It's not, homie. We're just numb for being Americans and being America, the freedoms that we've been allowed for our entire lives. That's all Darnell Smith and JB know. We know freedom. These cats out here who come here is for one reason. Why? To be free. From where? From where? Their shithole country. Yeah, exactly. So why are you waving your fucking shithole country flag in my country, homie? Why the fuck do you think that's okay, homie?
They do it for their people, their culture. They still have a love for their people and their culture.
Fuck these motherfuckers.
We can show examples of whatever. Of course, there's not going to be 100%.
Fuck these motherfuckers, homie.
I understand
these motherfuckers.
But there's a lot of people down there who's not causing trouble, who's not throwing fucking bombs, who's not fighting. Who's literally just standing there. That's what a protest is, homie.
So what?
Act like everybody in the protest is down there just causing havoc. No, that's not.
Smitty, I'm not ignorant. I get it. Okay, but understand something. When it happens like this,
just
Smitty.
Be real. That's all I want to hear.
I am always real. When it happens, you're not real. That's the problem.
No, you're not.
You're not being real.
Examples that fit what you already believe.
It ain't examples.
There it is.
It ain't examples.
There's illegal. See,
it ain't examples.
There's fucking black people who kill people. White people who kill people. So
it ain't examples, homie.
If there are some illegals who have done crime, let's take them all back now.
Like, I just don't think. No, it's not all back. Lazy. It's not all back though. It's the fucking illegals. I don't understand. Why don't I know one motherfucker out here, homie, that's doing this?
I don't know.
Because they're not, Smitty. They're legal, number one. Number two, they're fake fucks out here. This guy right here was paid to throw a rock. I bet dollars to dimes on it. He's a fucking hoe. Why don't nobody I know anybody out here protesting? Why are conveniently placed cinder blocks being placed out here again? Why do I got to deal with it again? We dealt with it in Compton and Long Beach and LA during BLM and the COVID shit. Now we got PV burned down. We had a whole fucking city and area burned down under the same management, Governor Newsom and Karen Bass. And now we have another conveniently placed set of bricks. And Smitty, it's right by you. This is going to move. It's going to move, and then we're going to fuck up many cities in this whole fine, great city of LA over what? Over what? A motherfucker who came here thinking he belongs, homie. No, you don't belong. If I went to Mexico and did that and burned a Mexican flag, I would be fucking castrated and hung up in the Times Square, homie. I don't understand why you don't grasp that concept.
Again, I'm not saying.
I know you're not saying that. I know you're not saying that.
Obviously wrong. That's
I know you're not saying that. I know you're not saying that. I know you're not saying that. I'm saying that you think that I'm trying to say, oh, let's get rid of all these motherfuckers. No, I'm saying that I don't know anyone, homie, having been grown up here. I don't know one motherfucker that's protesting or mad about this. Like, that's the problem. I got Mexican homies, black homies.
I know people who are
homie.
mad about that, but again, it could be a.
No, I didn't say mad. I didn't say mad. I didn't say mad about it. I said, who the fuck's out there protesting? They're not any other homies, homie.
You said protesting or mad about it. You did say
no. See, because you know why? Because you're so quick to say I hear you, but you really don't. You're not listening. There ain't no homies out here, homie. It's all fake. It's bullshit. There ain't no homies out here doing this.
Fake, though. I don't think it's fake. I think
it is fake. It is fake. You gotta wake up, homie.
I think your homies are 40 and 50. Then I'm about to be outside.
Come on, homie. It's fake.
I'm just being honest with you. Like, I don't think 48, 50-year-olds are not protesting. My generation protests. That's what they do. We can disagree if they should do it, but that's more of my generation. Even when Black Lives Matter was going on, I actually know people who were protesting. Like, I'm not.
Let me ask you something. Why were two of the dudes burning Mexican flags white?
I don't know. I don't have all the answers. I don't. I'm not gonna sit here.
Come on, homie. But you always say you don't have no answers, homie. But then you'll say
I don't have all the answers. Listen to me, please. I don't have all the answers. What I said.
No, but on this side, you got fact-based data, homie. Make it make sense? How you got fact-based data over here, but you don't know what's going on over here?
I know you get loud and hype like that makes you feel like you're saying something, but I never said fact and data. The only thing I said is that I do know people who protest. I mean, I don't. There's no point in me. I'm not lying. I'm just saying.
Smitty, I know you well enough.
Like you don't know. I know people.
I know you well enough to know that your protesters are peaceful, though.
Yes.
Okay. This ain't peaceful protest, homie. I don't know what protesting you've seen, but peaceful protests aren't throwing cinder blocks off the overpass. And Karen Bass to come out and say we have it under control, it's peaceful, is a fucking lie to the LA citizens. Like, that's not peaceful, homie. You don't have it under control. Like, I don't understand that part. I get peaceful protest is having some fucking things up, walking down the fucking street.
Majority of what I'm saying is I was just downtown. I've been downtown all weekend, bro. I've been moving around good. It's not like, I'm just being honest with you. I've been in downtown all weekend, literally. Like, so listen, social media is whatever. There's going to be stuff during protest that we don't want to see. I get that, and that's wrong. But I a lot of time with a lot of topics, while me and you disagree, I feel like you take certain things and you like blow it out of proportion with a lot of shit because you see some examples on your timeline, and that gets you so riled up and like pissed off, and then now that's put a whole story in your head where it's like it's not fully true. Like, I think in your head you're thinking all the hundreds of people down there are just fucking just causing chaos like it's the LA riots in the 90s. Like, that's not what's going on. Like, I've been there. I was just downtown. I was being honest with you. Like, it's not as crazy as what you're thinking. Or there's always gonna be some examples. Like, it's always gonna be examples. That's unfortunate. But those small examples shouldn't take away from the bigger picture of why people are protesting. And again, you think they're all actors? Listen, I can't prove that right or wrong. I can't. Only thing I can say is that I do know I have a handful of Mexican friends as well, not like you. I have a handful as well, more of my age group, who I know are pissed off, been posting heavily about it. Like, I'm just being honest with you. You know, I got a neighbor who got a, you know, I ain't even gonna talk about it, but my point is, I know people too. I'm not saying
let me show you. Let me show you to your.
It's real.
Yeah,
this is not all fake.
Let me show you what's real. This is my homie on FaceTime with my other homie in Compton. So this ain't fake, homie. It is happening. I don't know where you're moving around, but I know over the weekend this happened. This is my homie when I was on my boat FaceTiming with the homie who got blocked in by a car that got bombed. Mm-hmm. So that's my homie right there, BC Brian, who's just on the boat yesterday on the bottom. And my other homeboy. So I'm just trying to figure out. This is Compton now, homie, my hometown, and this is right here, homie, by where everything is at, and this is. You see all the Mexican flags, homie? Yes, it's actually going down. It is going down. So yes, I don't know why you say it's not really happening like that. This is how riots start, homie. They take little bitty bullshit pieces and then they move around the city, just like when Rodney King happened, just like Watch riots, just like all the other things I've witnessed here. This is how this shit moves. Now, you're saying it was fake, though. It's not fake.
No, I didn't say it was fake.
You're saying the size of it. Like the
yes,
the
I think with a lot of topics, you do this. Like, you'll see some examples, you'll see a few of them, whatever. And then
I get that.
In your head, it's like complete chaos.
I agree to that.
When I also see, I have examples too. I could sit in the Bailey and be like, oh, people are just fucking standing here chanting, doing this with a sign. So it's like you find what you're looking for. It's basically what my overall point.
Yeah, and the chat's not listening either because I didn't say it was fake. I said there were fake people doing this. I didn't say that the fucking fire wasn't fake, you fucking idiots. I said it was fake people doing this because I don't know one person. And I don't know any of the homies that know one person. And we were trying to find over the weekend homies that were out there that we would know that would be pissed off about this. And we couldn't find any. So, like, that's the only reason I'm saying. Anyway, Smitty, we have to table this because we have a guest right out the gate that right out of the Pittsburgh Steelers backyard, insider, a beat writer for the Pittsburgh Steelers, going to give us some Aaron Rodgers news.
Yes, sir.
Let's introduce him right out the gate. Alan Saunders joins us right out the show. Alan, I appreciate you.
How you doing?
What's up, fellas?
Hey, I appreciate you hopping on last minute for us, man, to give us some insight on what's happening there on the ground in Pittsburgh. We got shit going on in L.A. We got fucking who knows what's going on here, man. So Smitty and I get into heated debates. That's why I think our show's the greatest one out there right now. So we love the passion. So I appreciate you hopping in right in the middle of all that shit, oil and fire, oil and water. Give us some news, man. What's going on? Was it a foregone conclusion? Was it a gentleman's shake 6 months ago? Agreement? What was this been? Has this been brewing? Were you guys not worried at all? You knew you were going to get this wily veteran, or were you guys worried that Mason Rudolph was your guy?
Well, I think the fans have been freaking out. The Steelers have been very confident the whole time that this was going to happen. There wasn't a handshake deal, but it was pretty well communicated that the offer that the Steelers had made was acceptable to Aaron Rodgers, and that just he had some personal stuff going on he wanted to work through before he was willing to commit. I do think there was some pressure for him to sign before minicamp, which starts for the Steelers on Tuesday. It's, of course, mandatory for veterans, and I think if you're trying to come into a locker room full of guys and be a leader, as the quarterback almost always is, it's probably not the best look to come in after having skipped the thing that they all had to do but didn't want to do. Like, it just, you're going to cause some hurt feelings right off the jump. So I feel like that was smoothly done by whoever decided that needed to be the time frame. And at the end of the day, all 3 months of us talking about will he or won't he, Aaron Rodgers, the daily updates will end up meaning pretty much nothing. The end result will be basically the same as if he had signed with the Steelers 10 minutes after getting cut by the Jets.
That's a good point. I know there was a lot of talk of, people were just mad that he wasn't at the voluntary, the voluntary piece of it, knowing he's going to be the QB, things like that. But again, it's official now. He's going to be there when it matters the most. I guess, what are the expectations now in Pittsburgh? I mean, is it Super Bowl or bust now already? I mean, we know who this guy is historically, but if we're being honest, last, few years, he hasn't been like the MVP Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah, and like, it's hard to look at the Steelers situation in a division with Joe Burrow and Lamar Jackson. Got to probably find a way through Josh Allen and Patrick Mahomes to get to where they want to go, right, and say, like, yeah, 42-year-old Aaron Rodgers is going to be the ticket. Like, I think they do feel like he gives them a better chance to reach their ceiling than Mason Rudolph, or really than any of the other options they had available to them this offseason. I think they did make an offer to Justin Fields early on. That got expensive quickly. They didn't want to meet the price that the Jets had out there. And I think pretty quickly after that, they circled to Aaron Rodgers and said, okay, this is the guy that can get us as far as we can go. And the Steelers aren't a team that's ever going to, they're not going to tank. They're not going to not try to win. I think even though the situation doesn't look favorable for them, they're going to give it all they've got. And I think it's a lot easier to envision, okay, is it realistic to say they're going to beat all those guys and go to the Super Bowl? Probably not. but it's a lot easier to envision a guy like Aaron Rodgers going into Kansas City, going into Buffalo in January, and somehow engineering a win. And this team hasn't had a playoff win since 2016. So I think that in itself would be a big step forward for them.
Man.
No doubt. I know there's like some bunch of quirky and corny rumors out there. And I know that, AB and Le'Veon Bell are guys out there. There's no way Tomlin would even think about that. Is there any other veterans out there on a serious note that would be considered to be, helping out since you got rid of Pickens and now, the DK signing, of course, but how many other weapons are still needed there for like a guy like Aaron Rodgers who can spread it around?
Yeah, definitely not bringing AB or Lev Bell back. That ship sailed a long time ago, especially in AB's case. And Lev, how long's it been since he was a running back?
He's only like crazy. He's still young as hell, though.
No, he's not that old, but hasn't been playing football in a number of years now. I do think they need help in terms of skill position depth. Wide receiver, they're almost going to certainly have to make a trade there. Tight end is looking kind of thin as well. It wouldn't surprise me if they add one or two pieces. It's always been Aaron Rodgers' thing. The guys like to play for him. Wouldn't be crazy to me to see Alan Lazard be someone that they circle still with the Jets. He's on a pretty reasonable contract. Although Steelers and Jets play week 1. Aaron Rodgers had some bad things to say about the Jets after leaving. Would they really want to make a trade that helps the Steelers? I don't know. So we'll keep our eyes peeled. I think the Packers probably have too many wide receivers. That's a possibility for a trade as well. They got to find somebody, though. I mean, it's just right now, they got DK Metcalf was their big addition this offseason. A couple of young guys in Calvin Austin and Roman Wilson, but Pat Freiermuth, that's just not enough, really, especially if you want to be the kind of team that's going to maximize Aaron Rodgers' talents.
Nah, no doubt.
For sure. Let me ask you this. I mean, it's crazy as it sounds. There have been like at least rumors or just people like myself and people on podcast platforms who said that Mike Tomlin may kind of be on a little bit of a hot seat. As great of a coach as we all love him, and I'm sure Pittsburgh loves him, to your point, hasn't won a playoff game since 2016, let alone back to the Super Bowl. And we know you guys are one of the most historic franchises in the game. I guess, is that seat getting hot for Mike Tomlin?
I don't think it's really getting hot in terms of like, is he in any danger of being fired? No. Do I think he's hearing it from the fan base? Yeah, absolutely. There's an expectation that this franchise is better than being one and done in the playoffs. I think, in terms of like any real change, they're going to get another chance at quarterback with this. Omar Khan now has come in as new general manager. I would expect that they're going to draft a quarterback next year, almost no matter what happens this season. And they're going to let that process play out. The Rooneys are extraordinarily patient. I think that they've had 3 head coaches since 1969. They're going to give Mike Tomlin a whole lot of rope here. But yeah, I mean, I think the fan base is upset. They feel like the Steelers have not lived up to their standard. And certainly, there's not a lot of enthusiasm, even with Rodgers, about their chances this year. And so I think that stems from that.
Let me ask something real quick. Smitty and I debate this, and I think we were in agreement, but arguably people out there, the talking heads and the big platforms, obviously, if you rated the AFC's offseason acquisitions, offseason's grade, they would argue that the Steelers had really the least movement or acquisitions or et cetera, et cetera. Is there anything to be said? A good friend of ours, Patrick Queen, who I recruited, who comes on the show here often, is there now, and that defense is usually the backbone of that franchise forever. And then you lose a Roethlisberger, really haven't replaced them. And now you get an Aaron Rodgers, a Hall of Famer. Where are you at with the offseason, grade for your guys' franchise? Did you guys address, I guess, the holes that were needed, and what else is needed still as we get into summer?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think it's been a splashy offseason. They focused their draft efforts on sort of adding some youth to the defensive line. Cam Hayward's 35 this year, still playing at a really high level, but, you figure the end is coming up. They wanted to address that. So they used 2 high picks on defensive linemen. I don't know that they got Caleb Johnson in the draft out of Iowa. I thought was a really underrated, a good pick to get him in the 3rd round. So I think they added some of the DK Metcalf trade. Obviously, they added some important pieces, but it still feels pretty much incomplete at this point. I think a lot of what they were doing this offseason was setting themselves up for that run at quarterback next year. Between the Pickens trade and the comp picks they've added, they got 4 extra selections going into 2026. I really think that's where I can't really remember a Steelers season that has felt more a year away than this one does at this time of the year. But it really does feel like in a lot of ways this is a team that is not feeling like it's right on the cusp of contention, that Aaron Rodgers is a bridge to a rookie who they hope to be able to develop. And, one of the things I think they put a lot of effort into is being able to have a team that when you do draft that rookie, you're able to put them in a good place to succeed. How many times have we seen the team that gets the number 1 overall pick picks a guy and it doesn't work out? I don't think it's a mystery that bad teams create bad football, and then that creates failed draft picks. They want to be able to have a situation like Jaden Daniels or CJ Stroud, where a young guy can come in and be in a good spot to succeed right away. And I think they took some important steps to doing that, but I'm not sure it's necessarily where people want them to be on the football field this year.
What's the latest with TJ Watt? Is he and I know he hadn't shown up to anything yet. I think he's kind of a contract dispute right now. Is there any updates there? Are they in communication, or will he not be at a mandatory camp at the start?
Yeah, I don't know. We'll see. I have full expectation that the Steelers are going to sign TJ Watt to a contract extension. I think you can look at the numbers and say, well, if Myles Garrett's worth $40 million, TJ can't be very far from that one direction or the other. So I don't think there's a whole ton to be negotiating about. Okay. But I think TJ's upset that the deal isn't done already, and I think the Steelers would rather wait until everything else is done and take care of him last. They kind of know where they are exactly with the salary cap going into the season. They don't want to make a move with TJ and then all of a sudden this wide receiver they've been trying to get suddenly becomes available, and oh no, now they don't have the cap space, right? Because they did the deal with TJ already. So the Steelers want to wait until the rest of everything is done. Will TJ be at minicamp? Last time around in 2021, when he didn't have a contract, he showed up at minicamp but didn't do anything. My guess is that's what we're looking at again. Steelers report tomorrow, so we'll find out.
Last thing I got for you, Smitty. Let me ask you, and I can't thank you enough for coming on here last minute, early in the morning on the West Coast. Let me ask you, so why is the deal with Aaron so, like, it seems like you got to get Aaron Rodgers for the fan base appeasal, I guess, making them appeased that, we got a quarterback. But, like, if you agree, and a lot of other people, talking heads, are saying this ain't the guy to get you over the hump, I'm just confused on why they go and do it. Like, why just not go with who they had and go younger and then plan for the future? Or is this like, am I missing something here with this signing? I know it was only a $13 million deal, but that's a drop in the bucket, I guess, for a team nowadays when we're paying guys $60 million. But I'm just trying to figure out, why was this such a desperate move, it seems like, to get a guy like Aaron Rodgers?
I don't really think they were that desperate. I think after they signed Mason Rudolph, they kind of backed off of Rodgers and said, look, if you would like to have you, if you want to come, great. If not, fine, whatever. It wasn't a high pressure deal. I think they think he's better. It gives them the best option to try to win a playoff game, which like I said, I think is something that's important to them. They want to put the young guys that they have on this team in good position. They want them to go through. The Steelers haven't played, I think they've played 2 games in 20 years where they were not still in contention for the playoffs. Yeah. They don't want their young players to go through the motions in terms of, let's just go have a bad season. They have no interest in that. They want to try to be as good as they can. They feel like they got the extra draft picks they needed, that they can move up if they feel like they need to move up when it comes to getting that quarterback in the draft next year. So they're just trying to win as much as they can and see where it takes them.
No doubt. Smitty, man, I can't thank you enough jumping on here, Alan, and giving us some insight on the ground there in Pittsburgh. And good luck to you guys this season. And I'll be watching you, man. I appreciate you hopping on.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
All right, brother. Appreciate it.
Have a good one. Clap up for Alan, y'all.
Alan Saunders, insider right there in Pittsburgh. You guys got to calm down. Let's get right to the quote of the day. Smitty, we didn't get to it. Bailey, where are we at? Smitty, I don't know if you know, last minute we might have a legend on, Eddie Johnson, Supersonic, Phoenix Sun, to talk NBA Finals. Might be at 8:30 our time. Okay, if he's able to come on. So cool. So let's get right into it. So look forward to Eddie Johnson if he can he make it. We do have Michael Cooper on again this week, Smitty.
I did see that.
Yeah, he requested
talk Big Three. He wants to talk Big Three.
Yeah, he requested it too. So shout out to Coop for wanting to come back on. So we'll be having him on Friday, I believe it's this Friday. And we got a loaded group of guys all week long. And gals. Hopefully we get Lauren back on and talk to her last night. She's got crazy insight in the Diddy trial. So hopefully we'll get her and get time to get her out of the courtroom. Quote of the day, Smitty: talking behind my back simply means you're smart enough to be afraid to say it to my face.
Okay.
A little long, but a little deeper than most.
It's a good one. It's a good one. That's one way to think about it. I call it soft. But you can call it smart enough too. You call it smart enough, you know.
It's soft. It's soft that you didn't come address me.
Right.
Yeah, but I call it smart because I smack shit out the motherfucker anyway. So
if you do address me, it's gonna turn into issue. So it's kind of like two things can be true. It can be soft. It can also be smart.
I'm still laughing inside because you got mad earlier at me, and it sounded exactly like you and Matt.
But Matt got mad on the left.
Did he?
Nah, he didn't leave, but he got pissed off that day. His whole energy shifted.
I don't get that. Your energy shifted this morning.
No, it didn't. My energy cool.
Nah, you're sad.
You can't come on the show like after you just went in for 30 minutes. I'm over here dancing, talking about ice. Like you gotta switch up depending.
I didn't do Mexican word of the day, homie.
No, I'm saying your intro was like serious and you pissed off.
Oh yeah, I know
you're me in, and I'm like, turn the beat on. Like that.
You know how to come in based on my lead in. You know how to come in based on my lead. I didn't say that part. I'm just saying when we got into it, you said you sounded like you and Matt, homie.
Because I already knew what today was gonna be. Like last night, I was like, I was kind of chilling on the couch. I was like, I didn't look at the run. The rundown probably wasn't even done last night, but I just knew what has been going on. So I'm like, all right, we're gonna talk about this. We're gonna talk about Simone Biles. So I kind of in my head was like, let me just get through. Like, I know what type of day we're gonna be arguing today. So I had to like go to sleep and like get my rest. So I already knew what it was gonna be. I know you now. So it's like shit like this happens, you're gonna go in, you're gonna get all mad and pissed off. So I just, that's why I was calm if I was calm at first. I came in just calm and smooth.
Shout out to me, man, for having 2 Mexicans on the boat yesterday. And I wasn't taking them back either. So anyway,
what that meant?
Contrary to belief, that's actually like way more racist than my Mexican words of the day. What I just said right now is way worse.
Crazy,
but anyway, contrary to belief, dare to be different. The world is full of ordinary. Contrary to belief.
That's one of them powerful, strong quotes that you can like Google, but that's a good one right there, though.
It's not a quote. It's not a quote, though. It's a contrary to belief.
But a contrary to belief is a quote. Like that's the whole.
Nah.
Like you call it something different.
You still haven't figured it out.
You call it something different, but it's literally just 2 quotes. If we want to keep it like all the way 1,000, you got 2 quote of the days. But we call it something else, which is cool. Like it's a good branding, but it's the same shit. Like if you would have flipped the shit,
they
make sense either way.
Nah, it can't. Dare to be different in the world. Nah, see, it wouldn't have been a quote of the day, though. Dare to be different, world is different. That's like more of a statement. You know what I mean? It's not a quote. But anyway, Smitty, poll question real quick. Both Stanley Cup and NBA Finals are tied at 1-1. Which has been the better series?
It's got to be the Stanley Cup because both games went to overtime, not just one overtime.
Double.
This one was a double overtime. And we thought game 1 was going to go to double overtime and went for a last-second hit. So you got to go with the Stanley Cup. My Pacers kind of, I'll say laid an egg last night. I think they were just satisfied with getting that game 1. A lot of times they go me right here. Shout out to the Pacers. Pascal Siakam.
That's you?
That's me right there. So a lot of times, in NBA, like the goal is to win one on the road. If you split, you cool. Like let's go home, let's win at home, and now we're up. So I think they won that first win last night early. You could kind of tell that like the energy just wasn't there. OKC just played harder. They played more physical. Tyrese Halliburton, our star, didn't get going until like the fourth quarter. I don't know why he wasn't playing aggressive. So I just think they laid an egg. So because of all that, you got to go with the Stanley Cup. But both series are good. I mean, listen, I think the NBA is going to go 7 games. I think Stanley Cup going to go 7 games. But when you go to overtime, back-to-back games, you got to go Stanley Cup.
I lost.
What you lose?
I just checked my winnings and I forgot I had a game and I lost. I won $50 the other night, but then I lost last night.
You stay losing.
Nah, I've been winning lately. I had fucking Ja Williams as my captain. He got me 51 points, but he didn't do well. Shea got 61, but then Dort was on fire game 1. He fucking dropped an egg. He didn't hit fucking 9 fantasy points. Fucking shitbird. And then Toppin went off, and I knew I knew Toppin couldn't go 2 games in a row and ball. So
I don't know why you should have talked to me about that.
Well, the first game he balled and got me paid.
No, of course, but that's not his normal thing, though.
I know. I'm just saying, but he's a scrappy guy. Get loose rebounds, hit a couple 3, dunk on somebody. He didn't do shit the other night, last night. But anyway, I don't know if this goes 7. It's probably best for the NBA if it does go 7. But I think the hockey game's going 7, Smitty.
They're both going 7.
Yeah, the NHL Stanley Cup's been unbelievable. It might be one of the best ones ever. Talking to like Jeremy Roenick and them, so that I've been texting back and forth with him. Gonna hook up with him at Pat Perez golf tournament, and he lives down in San Diego. And he was like, "Man, this could be the start of the best first 2 games ever. Best 2 games to start a Stanley Cup ever. As far as the physicality, how they're playing." They're picking and choosing their fights because the NHL, like he said, is not really a fighting game like it used to be. Now you pick and choose when you fight. So you set up your power plays accordingly, etc. Nowadays, it seems more strategic, but it's still physical. They're still racking cats into the glass. It's still a violent sport. And that hockey series is fire. That's one game. That's one series I look forward to watching. Smitty, let's dive right into it. From controversy to controversy. Start the show to our thumbnail, which is
let's get it, man. Simone Biles versus Riley Gaines. I think there's a whole bunch of tweets and stuff that they have up here. Obviously, Riley Gaines, I think, came out, made a comment about what was it, a high school softball team who had won a state championship, and they had a trans.
Remember the boy that pitched? We saw it.
Yep, they had a trans gender as the pitcher. So she responds to the pitcher saying, "Comments off, LOL. To be expected when your star player is a boy." Simone Biles saw that and responded, and she said, "Let me see the tweet real quick, Bailey." She tagged Riley Gaines and said, "You're truly sick. All of this campaigning because you lost the race. Straight up sore loser. You should be uplifting the trans community and perhaps finding a way to make sports inclusive or creating a new avenue where trans feel safe in sports. Maybe a transgender category in all sports. But instead, you bully them. One thing for sure is no one in sports is safe with you around." Whole bunch of exclamation marks. Jason, go ahead and unleash.
It's not even unleashed no more. I'm just, you and I are on record to disagree with what's happening in sports with boys and girls.
We're on the same page with that piece for sure. Like I don't. Yeah. It makes sense.
Yeah. So I don't understand Simone Biles. She's very hypocritical in all this. I don't understand it. She kind of dismisses the fact that Riley Gaines lost against a boy. And I don't understand why she's condoning it or thinking it. Like, and years ago, they found old text tweets of her, and she's saying, like, imagine if I went against a boy, I would never have these these gold medals and all this old shit. And I'm like, damn, how crazy that is. Times change really quickly. I don't know why. But this is a female that quit in the Olympics, and then she called her a quitter and a sore loser. I don't understand that part of it. I'm confused.
She called her a quitter, did she? She called her a sore loser, right?
I don't know.
Shut up. Yeah, well, just called her a sore loser.
Yeah, they've been back and forth.
Now, I don't want to talk about this because, like when it comes to just act, like Simone Biles is the GOAT in her sport, though. Like that's a separate
Yeah.
That's a separate thing.
But it's also the goat of her sport against girls, right?
Yep, 100%.
All right. So why would she say that against her Riley though? Sounds like you're defending Biles. Go ahead.
It don't sound like nothing. You go ahead. I told you to go.
I'm just trying to make sure.
Make that little serious face and go ahead. Don't try to.
I want to see if you're defending Biles here, homie. I'm trying to figure this out. So she said you're a sore loser for losing against a man.
Well, Roddy got in 5th place in that race. Let's be clear too. It's like a lot of times we talk as if like Roddy was in 2nd place and the trans what's her name, Leah Thomas got in 1st, and we like, oh fuck. Roddy came to 5th place. She wasn't winning that race.
No. That race.
She wasn't top 3. You know?
But Riley finished 2nd in the SEC, homie. That one race wasn't the determining factor of.
I think that's what she's talking about, the race.
Yeah, but she finished. She would have finished overall. She would have been the number 1 like SEC swimmer, but she lost that fucking race. So I'm trying to figure out why Simone is now. Anyway, Simone's got, just from what I saw, she looks like she got like murdered by a lot of people. Whether it's right or wrong, she got murdered by everybody on Twitter. A lot of females came forward in defense of Riley Gaines on this. Look, I'm not much. I don't know Riley Gaines like that. I don't know her. She's become an advocate because she was the woman who faced that dude with the flipper foot, and we made. We were all pissed off about this whole thing. And then it's become more and more transparent that we're allowing more and more boys in. Then this Minnesota guy beats 5 teams in a row. They let her pitch 5 days straight, or let him pitch 5 days consecutive to win them a title. And I don't know if that's not the biggest, I don't know if you want to call about steroids and gambling on sport. If this ain't the biggest cheating scandal ever, I don't know what is. It should be right up there with steroids and right up there with gambling, homie, if you're going to be real with it.
Yeah.
So I don't understand how Simone is even defending this or using it. It seemed like she had more of a beef with Riley over the fact. But the problem is she made herself look horrible, though, because they found, they're going to dig up old tweets. Yeah. And she said she wouldn't.
Yeah, I actually remember her this tweet like at that time. I think it was like one of her counterparts. I think it was one of the guys on the Team USA.
So she's
a gold who was like killing it, and she was like, "Man, good thing I always." This is kind of before, I think it's 2017. So I don't think all the trans like that stuff wasn't really happening at that level. I don't think at that time. So I think she was just speaking just in general, like, "Damn, that guy I don't compete against boys." So listen, you gotta be if you're in the media space. You got to watch what you say because they will find something old. This happened to me.
It's your resume, Smitty. It's your resume.
It's your resume.
It's gonna be mine. It's
this almost 10 years ago. So listen, who knows? Shit didn't change. Like whatever. Like I've definitely said stuff today that 10 years ago that I might have countered. We're all our biggest hypocrites. We all say shit and then counter it. It is itself. So I disagree with men playing in women's sports. I've said that. I think it's a reason why we have women's sports. It's a reason why we have, we've always had 2 separate sports. There's a reason behind it. Physically we're different. Like, we can, that's just common sense, y'all. So like, on this particular topic, what I'm saying, I got to disagree with Simone on this, but to your point, I think if you look at the way she tweeted out, and it's another tweet she had too, where she's took a jab at Riley Gaines, like, body size or something like that. She said something like pick on people your own size, and she said ironically though that would be against like a boy or something. So trying to be funny. So my point is, to your point, I'm thinking the same thing. This was bigger than this tweet. I think Simone just don't like her probably for years. And again, I don't know a lot about Riley Gaines. I do know that over the years she said some like she said some like controversial things online. She can be controversial, like her approach to certain things can be not everybody's flavor. We'll say that. So it's probably something where Simone just got emotional and just fucking took her phone out and just went in and just didn't spell check, didn't fact check, just went through and boom. And now she's kind of getting killed online. So
well, controversy usually comes with the truth and meaning you're something you're passionate about. That's what you call people always say you're controversial with how you talk when you're advocating for like a group of people. So Riley Gaines has been advocating for women for a long time. So if that's controversial, I guess that's
I guess what I'm saying is like I know she's made like jokes or whatever comments about like Brittany Griner, and like I'm just trying to think off the top of the head the few things I've seen. Like it's not about her overall message. I think is right in terms of like women should play in sports. Okay, boom, that's like we're on the same page right there. But
why is she the only woman advocating?
I think it's a how.
Why is she the only woman advocating is my question. Why isn't Simone Biles, a world-known star of her craft? Yeah. Why don't we have more women? I don't understand it. The other day, we had Sarah Spain. I did a short on her. We talked about Sarah Spain and how she went at McAfee and Stephen A. because she used to be at ESPN. She's no longer there, obviously. She does a women's sports podcast, she calls it. But I haven't seen her advocating for the boy pitcher against women. Like, I haven't seen that. It continues to confuse me. We got to separate the difference between activists and journalists, because I don't think we understand the difference. There's a huge difference right now. A lot of folks, Stephen A. is slowly transitioning to activists. If we really want to be real and watch what he's doing, he's trying to get in his political space. He's trying to do certain things. It's becoming more of an activist role for a lot of these talking heads. It's not journalism at all anymore. At all. It's a lot of these people now are not doing journalism. What's her name? Riley Gaines is now an activist. Mm-hmm. Like, let's be real. She's a activist now. And rightfully so for girls sports and women's sports. Marcellus Wiley's wife, she's an activist now. What's her name? Sage Still. She's now an activist. Those things are done. Like, the sports part of it's over. They're not in there no more. Like, they're not in there no more. They got, I know Sage sued Disney or whatever. She has her own thing going. Everyone moved on to their own thing. They're now activists though. So like, it's a slippery slope, homie. I'm just telling you right now. I just want to know why we don't have more feminists advocating for women's rights. That's what blows my mind to this day. I still don't get it. I don't understand how we can sit here and allow a boy to pitch 5 days straight against our girls, our daughters, our sisters. And imagine you go see your sister graduate in Naptown last week and you got to see her play in a state title game and a boy pitched against her. Right. And you're sitting there watching that. And I don't understand how the advocacy is not coming out against this thing by more females. It blows my fucking mind. I don't understand it. It screams like you're a sellout to me. You're taking money or something. You've been bought. You've been paid or something's going on.
Probably a lot of people just scared, to speak out.
I don't know why though. I don't get it.
It's gonna fuck their money up.
Yeah, but it's not like
and we all selfish. Like, we all at the end of the day, like, we care about people to an extent, but not more than us when we got going on. And you don't want to talk about things to get money up.
I feel sorry for them though. Like, at the end of the day, when you die and leave this world and this earth or this body or whatever you want to talk about, this soul or whatever, and it leaves us. That's what you're known for. You're known for being this person. Whether it's the person I am, the person you are, the person she is, the person
it is, yeah.
You died being that person. So all I'm saying is, like, why is this the hill you want to die on? You can ask that about me. You can ask that about Smith. You can ask about anyone. This is the hill. This is our individual hill that we want to die on. So it is what it is. I'm always going to be me. Smitty's going to be him. She's going to be her. Right. I don't understand the part when it's factual, scientifically based, though. That there's a man and a woman. That's who's born into this world. That's it. There's no other fucking gender or made up humans that are scientifically proven to be created. There's not a guy with a dick and a pussy that I know of yet that has come out the womb.
Nah, they do. And they call it a hermaphrodite.
Yeah,
they're
not playing sports, Smitty. So,
okay,
yeah. How many of those are there? 6?
I don't know. I'm just saying. I think there are. I think that is the thing,
six in the world. Well, they're retards. So, like, there's a difference. So here's the thing.
Shit like that. I think Right Game 6 has said shit like that. So that's an example. When I say controversial,
but it had nothing to do with
that last comment wasn't necessary. So if you feel like that, the people that were the wrong way, they're like, damn, like, she's not a good,
It wasn't what
necessary.
Why?
Just didn't need to say that last line. It didn't add anything to the conversation.
So here's the thing, though. Like, what happened? Like, but scientifically, right? We know that there's only 2 men. There's a man and a girl, a little boy and a little girl. That's who's made out of the womb. That comes out of the womb. Boom. Yeah, mama, dad. That's who comes out, right?
Yeah.
Because it's funny. Why do we do gender reveals then? Because I'm trying to. Is that a valid point? Why would we do the blue and the pink fucking thing? And you know what's crazy? You know who does most gender reveals?
Who?
The weirdo fucking Karen, the pink hair, fat fucks. Why do they do the gender reveal? To say what? To say what?
He's gonna be a boy or girl.
For what though? Because you're gonna change their sex anyway. Like, why even do it? Like, it is so fucking stupid. That's where we are in the world, homie. That's where we are in society. Common sense is no longer common, and we are now trying to create a human and allow them into our other spaces. It just blows my mind. I don't understand where the women are, the feminists, the activists, all these other people that are also pro-women, but yet when it comes down to women being women, you're not pro-women. You're pro-man. And I just am shocked by the fucking... I'm dumbfounded, actually, is the word. I'm dumbfounded by the hypocrisy, number one, when you're saying you're a sore loser to a girl who lost to a boy, number one. And then number two, I just don't understand where the talking heads are, man. It blows my mind. We have so many powerful women out here who are huge, with huge platforms, but yet they refuse to get active in this space. I don't understand it, and that's the reason why it is what it is.
But my only last little note is that, you know, you also have the freedom to speak on what you want to speak on and not speak about stuff you don't want to speak about. I mean, Michael Jordan used to get like people go with Michael Jordan for not speaking about certain stuff, but it's like, nah, sometimes I don't want to talk about it. I'm gonna stay out the way. I'm gonna sell my shoes. I'm gonna become the GOAT in that, GOAT on the court, and whatever things I do to give back will be behind the scenes, and we'll just keep it moving. So like everybody don't want to be in the mix with everything though, you know. I don't want to be an activist. Like at least right now I don't. We'll see who I am in 20 years, but I don't want to be activist. So there's certain things where I'm gonna stay away from because I just don't want to be in that space.
Yeah, but here's the issue though. Like you just said you can't say one side that you have the freedom to speak, and then on the other side you're saying, well, they're scared. Well, which one is it? Are you scared to speak about freedom of speech? Or are you scared to say what's real? Like, because that's who you are. You're a sellout, or you're been paid, or you've been bought, or what have you. You can't say we got the right to be. If we have the right to speak freely, our First Amendment right, then why are you worried about being canceled?
Well, we don't have there's consequences though.
No. I'm not asking you particular. I'm not asking this particular question. I'm asking like,
I got you.
Yeah. Why should we, I guess, be worried about being canceled if we have that alienable right, the First Amendment right to speak freely, but yet we're so critiqued when we do so? It is what do you call it? A oxymoron.
Mm-hmm.
Why can't I speak freely if that's my God-given right, homie? Like, I'm trying to figure out. We always come back to that shit and say we're scared of this, we're scared of that, but that's our First Amendment right? There shouldn't be a law. We can't get arrested for it. We can't do it, but yet we get critiqued over what? Because we're scared to lose money? It's very, very strange, I guess.
But it's always been like, I mean, like I always say, I always go back to this example. I can't go to Fox and go just say whatever the hell I want to say.
But I'm saying I get it. I'm saying
I won't get in trouble legally, but I might get fired.
But that's what I'm saying. It shouldn't be that way. Is my point. Like that's the only thing.
But JB, it should though, because really? to some extent, I should. So you think you should be able to go to your job and say what the fuck you want to say? It should be no consequences.
No,
that don't make sense either.
You should have to follow. You should have to follow and abide hierarchy, right. which is what we should have to do, right. and understand who our bosses are, and assimilate accordingly, and understand your role. But that doesn't mean I should have to shut up, because on one side of the mouth, you say sometimes you can't just talk to me any old way. I'm gonna walk out of Fox if my boss came to me and said, "You a bitch." Yeah, we had that. But hold on though, how can he do that and you walk out, but you not having the right to freedom of speech? See what I'm saying? It doesn't make sense, homie. Like
I'm saying, okay, and I also can't call him a bitch either, though. So
but
he'll fire me or I'll leave him, or you know what I'm saying? Like, it's
but that's my point, homie. Freedom of speech should be able to go any which way. You should be able to do whatever you want. My point is the discipline of how you speak and what you say is totally different than freedom of speech. You should be able to have a candid conversation with anyone, a boss or whatever. Instead of, you don't have to call them a bitch, but you can. So you can. Smitty, come on. We've been fired, homie, at other places. People have been fired for having candid conversations because the other person did not like the transparency you delivered. For sure. Let's keep it funky. They just didn't like the side of the fence that person was on about what he spoke about. Let's be honest. That's definitely violation of my First Amendment, though. But they'll use it against you as saying, well, and then you see a watering hole they're talking about motherfucker. Oh yeah, I got rid of that motherfucker. That motherfucker was a right wing conservative. It comes out later, and then we see the recording, and then we hear the audio, and then it's like, oh, hold up. So now I'm gonna sue you after the fact for fucking unlawful termination, and then I got see what I'm saying? I mean, I'm too deep for you, really.
You're not deep at all. That's the issue. You think you deep, but you're not deep. Pause.
Anyway, we got a commercial break. We got
move my car.
Listen to this brother right here, though. Speak.
Oh shit.
I see a lot of people be talking shit about America. Hey, if you don't like America, go to another country, bitch. I love this country. I'll protect this bitch.
Shout out to young brother, man. Love it. Love to see that. Smitty, you love it?
I got no problem with it. We love this country. Why you be smiling when I answer? When you ask me a question, I answer and you start smiling. I hate when you do that shit.
Because you're not like hyped.
I mean, you're hyped about it.
I'm a young brother. If that young brother was doing some like crazy like twerking and shit, you would have been hyped right now.
Crazy twerking?
Yeah, like some weird shit. Yeah, weird. That's what I'm saying.
Be hyped
like, if he was doing some baby red shit, if he was doing some baby red shit, you'd be all over that shit.
I'm not sure who baby red is, number one. Number two, I never be hyped about a man twerking.
So, or whatever. You know what I mean.
I don't know what that means. So
don't sexualize her, Smitty. She came out looking fire the other day before the game. She had 2 points, 3 rebounds.
Get a bad game.
We'll be back at 3 minutes.
Talk about that in a few minutes.
Hey, well, fuck it. I'll go home tonight. I'll drink my yak and smoke my stick, and I'll get it back cracking. About this hoe. Angel Reese is back in the news. Popping ass.
That's what I'm saying. She talking about 200.
It don't even look like it.
That's what I'm talking.
Yeah.
Send it to me. Listen. Now let me see your booty. Dang.
So we already know where her future will be. We know what her future is, and we know. I'm confused, man. Like, yes, thank you. Any of you youngsters out there, what's that vibe? Cringe. If you don't have it by now with this broad, then you better get it quick. Stop. You better hurry up and get it, homie. Like, that's like saying, like, she fucked, her ex-boyfriend and came back and talked shit, said, you're a bitch, fuck you. And then she fucked him again just so she can get the rebound. That's what I believe she does, because she misses so badly, gets her own rebound, and then, boom, moves on. That's what I think she does with the dick as well. She'll bounce back, get a rebound off of old dick. The problem is she's not very sexy to me. So anyone that thinks she's sexy is crazy. You can get that ass walking down the street on Fig any day. You can get that ass walking down anywhere. And bottom line is, what does this do with her and her sport? I'm just trying to figure out, why is this and basketball or the WNBA and her and Caitlin Clark, what does that have to do with anything? I'm just trying to figure out. But don't sexualize me. Don't sexualize me. The irony is fucking unbelievable, homie. Like, the irony is really unbelievable. Don't sexualize me. God damn. And I know Smitty would be defending this shit right now. I can't wait for Monday. I'm going to bring it back up. This broad's a joke, homie. She's a fucking mockery. She's a joke. No wonder the WNBA is broke as fuck. No wonder it's fucking broke. And if she's the second most famous person in the league right now as being the worst player in the league right now, then you know you have a problem, WNBA. Let me say that again. If she's the second most recognizable player in the WNBA, which I believe she is, the second most recognizable, but she's the worst player in the WNBA, then you have a problem, WNBA. Fact. You have a fucking problem if she's the second most recognizable figure you have. And she's only known for shaking that ass. Stop it. Tell me she's not. Tell me that you don't watch her to see the ass that you think she really has. And I don't know what ass you guys grew up around, but that's not ass. Like, that's not really just donkey. That's not just that's not. Stop it. It's not. You guys are sexualizing her. Stop sexualizing her, homie. And then who's the baby red or whatever her name is? You can't have an uglier bitch on camera. She's one of the ugliest bitches I've ever fucking seen. Have you seen that bitch with no makeup on? I saw some shit someone sent me. I didn't even know who she was. What's her name? Baby red? She's fucking atrocious too. And guess what? Good job, high school administrators and teachers, for letting that broad come into your school and perform. Makes sense during Kamala election process. Remember that? Remember shit? They let her into high school to perform. Baby Red is coming. The bitch wouldn't perform because she didn't get paid. Like Kamala didn't pay anybody anyway, even Cardi B's. I'm fucking with Stephon Diggs. The offseason. Go Kamala. That was fucking Cardi B's fucking take on the Kamala Harris tour. I ain't fucking with Stephon Diggs and Offset and all the other rappers and go Kamala. You can't be more retarded than Cardi B, homie. Real shit. Like, she might be the dumbest bitch I've ever heard speak, period. Then you got this dumb bitch right here who's the ugly as fuck, by the way. Take that wig off and the glasses, and you got a little boy. I mean, that's a little boy. She has no body, no titties, no ass. She's a little boy. And then you have Angel Reese teamed up with this, and you wonder why the Democratic Party got destroyed in the election.
Oh. We back, y'all. Hour number 2. We've been in hour number 2, really. 45 minutes left for this hour, but we back, man. Make sure you hit that like button, subscribe, become a member right now. Talk to JB in the Discord. He been there every single day, so make sure you in there, man. And yes, sir, man. Let's keep this train rolling. Let's keep this thing going. Hour number 2. Let me see where we at. Should we go straight into it? I mean, we just teased it here on the commercial, so I guess we should bring up the Angel Reese Sexy Red, right?
What'd she do?
Big mama. That big mama for real.
She was going viral because this clip of her shaking the
It's so
butt.
proportional, like.
At the end of the podcast. She had Sexy Red on as a guest, and she was doing a little Little ass clapping at the end, and that's a big deal. It's trending. I don't have a problem with it. I wish the chat could like see like the little things like behind the scenes.
I mean, you shouldn't have a problem with
it. and I know I don't at all, but it's funny. Like our producer, I ain't gonna say what he said, but the wording that's on the rundown is crazy. So I'm like, I was going through the rundown earlier this morning. I said, "Oh, baby."
Hold on, let me read it. Let me see.
I'm sure it's still there because like. We go through the show and like I'm trying to like look, okay, what topics we got, who's coming on, and then I get to here and it said what it said. I'm like, I was gonna comment earlier. I said, no, I ain't gonna say that. But that's why I gotta watch. That's why I gotta watch Bailey. I gotta watch the rundown because a lot of time I just trust what's on there and I just read. I'm not even thinking about. I just read. So I'm glad I had to look for it, man. I was like, make sure I don't just say some shit right here. But what's your reaction though, JB? I don't have an issue with it at all. It's a woman shaking her ass. As a man, I don't see why you should have any issue with this at all. At all.
No, but
zero problem as a man. If you're a real man, should be no issue at all.
No, I don't. She should be an OnlyFans model though.
No, it's not. He's a woman. Women shake ass. Every woman you know have shaken her ass. Every woman you know, the most respected woman you could think of that comes to your mind right now, shook her ass before. Jason, he's a 20-some year old a woman with making good money. She's shaking her ass. She's dancing. That's it. Alan, I know what I am, Alan. Don't worry about my household. I can look at her ass. I'm married. I'm not blind. Hold on. I'm sure my wife sees guys and sees stuff on her Instagram. Oh, he looks good. I'm not that. She's not an insecure, and I'm not that insecure either, Alan.
But I'm just tripping off of. Don't sexualize me. What do you think?
That's gonna always be what y'all go back to.
But what do you think's gonna happen?
When she made that comment, she was saying that she had people in her DM saying some like wild, crazy shit at that time in her life that she was uncomfortable with. That's all. That's what it is. So now y'all gonna use that every time she puts on something tight. Every time she's being a woman, she wants to shake your ass a little bit. It's not even that big of a deal. Like I've seen some real twerking and shit. This ain't even no real twerk. It's a quick little shake, and we kept it moving. Like. So every time she posts something sexy, y'all gonna sexualize me. Every time she shake her left cheek, sexualize me. It's like, damn, y'all, how long are we gonna use this same comment?
Is she known for more being a sex figure or
no? She's not. She's known more for her beef or battle with Caitlin Clark at the collegiate level. That's what she's known more of. That's an actual fact. That's an actual fact. If all this didn't happen with Caitlin Clark, she would not be known this much. That's just an actual fact. If that moment, that back and forth, that college rivalry, that's why she became known. That's it.
She's known for like sexualizing herself.
She's not.
She's a horrible basketball player. She's known for like being epic. I don't think she's good at all, but like cute at all. I don't think she's that fine. I don't know why I think people overhype her, but anyway, I see her every day. You see her every day in LA, Smitty. Don't lie. The issue is like,
I ain't about to disrespect her. I mean, like that's a preference thing. There's women who you like who I wouldn't fuck with.
Right. She had 3 points and 3 rebounds last night.
Had a bad game. I know some of the greatest who have had bad games. You know, the funny thing is, like,
hey, Michael Jordan didn't have a bad game, was popping his dick, though.
This is the prime example of like hate, though, right? Because like you and like Bailey too, I'm gonna put Bailey in this too, because that's your mini me. There's certain people who y'all don't like.
I was popping a dick when they had
shit. Did I do that? There's certain people who y'all don't like to where you guys are gonna look for it, like the problem. Like y'all ain't gonna highlight when she drops 20 and 10 or whatever, right? Or she makes a game win or whatever. But y'all gonna grab. But I'm saying if that happens, y'all ain't gonna pull that. Y'all ain't gonna be like, oh, she hooped. But every time she has a bad game or does something controversial on the side that fits your narrative, you're gonna pull from it. Like I know y'all, man. I know y'all. Bailey is you. So the rundown is made for you. He's you. He's your mini-me. If I made the rundown, this shit wouldn't have been on there.
In my what?
He's your mini-me. He's you. That's you. Y'all agree on most things, not everything. There's some shit.
What is it, man? Min what?
He's your mini-me. Austin Powers. He's your mini-me.
Say it fast, though.
Kevin the Trucker. Go make a mini-me. Austin Powers. Put Bailey as the mini-me and put JB as fucking Michael Myers. Do it today, please, and send it to me. It's exactly who they are. So y'all find shit that fits what y'all think. Y'all think she's not a good basketball player. Y'all think she's no more of a sexual shit. So anytime you see anything that fits that, throw it on there. I know y'all. Anything fall right, throw it on there.
The world we live in is fucked up because, like, you'll praise her for, like, shaking the ass.
I ain't praising her.
But then, like, we have beautiful black women out here like Candace Owens, and you'll talk shit about her, not say she's fine at all.
I haven't said nothing bad about Candace Owens.
No, I never said you did. I'm just saying you won't like hype her though. You'll hype her up. You'll hype this brought up.
I didn't hype her up at all. I don't think this shouldn't have been a topic. There's nothing here. She's shaking. I'm saying there's nothing here either way. It's a young black woman who just had a guest on her podcast. She shook her ass. What is there to talk about? Tell me, what is there to talk about? There's nothing to talk about. She shook her ass.
You asked me?
It's not a big deal. So what I'm saying is we're reaching for stuff. There's nothing to talk about. I'm not praising her for shaking her ass, but I'm also not mad at it. It's nothing.
Not a real show then. What is a real show though? Take a listen to this man who spoke some facts. So everybody out there that's wanted to talk shit about me about my lead-in, take a listen to this right here. This is actual fact.
Black deportations. They blocked Trump. Let me ask you something, America. How is it that Bill Clinton deported 12.3 million illegals? George Bush deported...
Hold on. By the way, I hate the ones that the guy's listening in the background and he's like...
Yeah.
You know the two video one?
Yeah, underneath it. It's the live video and it's the... Yeah.
Like, I hate that motherfucker. But anyway, let's take a listen.
10.3 million illegals. Barack Hussein Obama deported 5.3 million illegals. And not a single court said a word. Not one! Not one injunction. But the moment Donald J. Trump tries to enforce the same doggone laws, boom! 30 nationwide injunctions, 100,000 deportations, and total gridlock. He was blocked at every turn, not because of his policies that were illegal, but because his name was Donald J. Trump. The law didn't change. The Constitution.
Fact.
He sounds so corny.
Fact, though. Why is he the only one being blocked?
Approach.
No. So now First Amendment don't go out. It goes out the window for the president again because it's approach.
When Obama was in office, I don't think he had fucking ISIS pointing at motherfuckers' house and big trucks and grab motherfuckers.
No.
Like,
They just deported. They just put them in boxes and grabbed them. Smitty, you never saw it. But you think that's better, I guess. That's crazy talk. By the way, I want to be clear because I'm from LA. And I was here, Smitty, you weren't here during this time, but I was here on the ground. And my homies owned a liquor store when the Rodney King riots had happened. And everybody was looting. Shit was going crazy in the mall. We were in the mall when it broke out. And we didn't have cell phones, so we were in the mall when it happened. And motherfuckers was just running around. Cats figured it out that LA was under siege. And motherfuckers started looting the Cerritos Mall, Lakewood Mall. We was motherfuckers was out everywhere, and it was wild, right? Then you had to be kind of careful because it was kind of a racially deal. It was a racially motivated riot. It was Reginald Denny, the white boy, got hit with a brick after Rodney King got beat by the cops. So it was a major situation in LA, super tense. Right after Desert Swarm, it was a lot of shit going on in that little time. Reminds me of now, kind of. So I was in LA when it happened. And everybody out here, all the youngsters that don't know, need to just shut the fuck up. Because I was here, and y'all are saying that this is unprecedented. Kamala Harris saying that LA is her hometown, and this is unprecedented in what Donald Trump's doing with National Guard. You're full of shit. I was here, and the National Guard came through the Nickerson Gardens and through LA to stop the Rodney King riot, homie. So were Marines, Smitty. The Marines from Camp Pendleton were deployed and came to LA to stop the Rodney King riots. They were in Long Beach, Compton, LA, Inglewood, Watts. Fact. I was here. So stop with the cap, as y'all would say, and saying this is unprecedented and this never happened. It has happened, and it hasn't happened just once either. It's happened several times. But go ahead, Smitty. You were raising your hands.
No, I was listening to all that. Only thing that I read was that he didn't talk to Governor Newsom about it. And I know how you feel about Newsom, but I'm saying, like, from what I read, that's not the way you do it. Like, if you're going to bring National Guard, you always talk to that state's governor before you send them out there. And Trump, because they're not seeing eye to eye, he just said, fuck it, and sent them there. And apparently, from what I read, this is the first time something like this has happened in over like a long ass time, like decades, where you, regardless, if you're going to send National Guard, you always communicate with that state's governor. So I think from what I read, that's where the issue is. But I could be wrong.
Here's the issue, though. The fact of the matter is we don't know what was said, but the fact is that they did speak on Friday after it started. And according to even Governor Newsom's interview that I read, or I listened to Governor Newsom talking, he said they spoke in a very cordial manner on Friday. And then Governor Newsom said that Trump didn't tell me he was releasing the National Guard. Donald Trump said, I absolutely told Governor Newsom that I was, because you couldn't handle your own state. So, again, back to the gray area, you and I don't know what was said.
Wasn't there, yeah.
But the fact of the matter is, what we do know, Smitty, is that if it gets out of hand, the president of the United States' job is to do what? Protect its citizens. And guess what? That trumps state law. Federal law trumps state law when it comes to National Guard. That is a federal release. Or the Marines, or whatever. Governor Newsom has had, from 2020 till now, multiple incidences under his watch and Karen Bass's watch that have absolutely crippled our city, the beautiful city, the city of Los Angeles. And now I'm confused as to why we continue to have faith in this person and leadership in this state when our gas prices are rising, the rest of the country's lowering. We have a fucking fire that depleted the greatest, most rich land in America. And now we have this going on within 6 months' time. I'm just trying to figure out
why is Newsom threatening to sue if there's not. And again, I'm literally just asking out of, I don't understand it. Why is Newsom saying he's going to sue Trump if, you know what I'm saying?
Because state law, he thinks that he has grounds on state law saying that he has precedence over his states when it comes to protection or lawful citizens and being able to put out or detain a situation, when Trump's saying, no, you haven't done it, because now I see cops and law enforcement taking barrage from rocks and pellets and hits and all this. So when does it get worse? I guess the 66 riots and the Watts riots, I wrote about in my book when my dad and everybody, it's kind of the transition point in LA and Watts from black to white or white to black, however you want to say it. Let's say white to black. So it was white to black transition. The Watts riots occurred. National Guard was released. And then you had the Rodney King riots here. And then we've also released the National Guard, other scenarios where they actually went through and cleaned out the Nickerson Gardens. You can ask Rico, who we've had on the show. There was tanks literally in the Nickersons. We were driving on Imperial to see it. So this is not unprecedented, was my whole point about this. And Newsom is a drifter, homie. He's trying to reach for whatever he can to stay in office. And again, you and I agree to one thing. Politics is the root of all evil, in my opinion. I believe that politics politics hurts the people that are good. Like the actual good people involved, politics will hurt it. So to your point, defending the migrants or the immigrants or the illegals, to your point, you see the good in it. Like these are guys that there's more good than bad, but then we don't know who the bad are. So guess what? We're going to deport all of them or get rid of all of them. And then we'll bring back the ones that want to do it right or legally. To your point, it's hurting the good ones in that scenario because guess what? We have horrible leadership, homie. Our leaders could have been proactive instead of reactive like Newsom is and put a nip in the bud on this thing, but we didn't. And now it's become spiraled out of control. And let me ask you this, though, and we'll move on. We got a lot of sports to discuss, but that's why we're a real show and we do all this. And Smitty and I can debate it and argue it, and it's fine. A lot of folks won't even have the balls to do it on their show, contrary to all your belief, but you won't give us enough credit to actually do it on the realest show. But you'll bitch and moan about it when we talk about it. It's fucking hilariously hypocritical from you in the chat that actually say one thing and then speak another thing. But you'll say, I don't want to hear politics, but then I go see some of your Instagrams and Twitters, and that's all you fucking talk about. But anyway, I'm confused, Smitty, as to why we aren't discussing the fact of the matter. And the fact of the matter is why we continue to vote people in who continue to be reactive instead of proactive. This man had opportunity after opportunity. And my question to you is, why is it always back on Trump? Or, for that matter, the sitting president? See, it's bad when, so we blame the president every time, but then when the president takes over the state because of unlawfulness, now it's not his place. Like, I'm trying to figure out, we'll blame him for lack of water in California. Trump had nothing to do with water in California, but we're blaming him right now for the lack of water and fire hydrants when we had a fire breakout under Governor Newsom. We blame Trump now for illegals when Biden let 20 million in. Like, I'm trying to figure out why, when do we actually take accountability into the fact that it was during this time period and now this guy is in office during this period and now he takes onus of it all. That's kind of how that goes for coaching too. We talk about that. By the way, if you ever listen to what I say, I'm 1000% one thing, and that's consistent. I think Smitty will say, well, that motherfucker's still standing. He's consistent with that motherfucker's takes, regardless of what they are. When a coach takes over a shit roster, I talk about the same thing. Why is he being blamed?
Right.
Why is he only getting a year and being fired when he had to take over and recreate a whole new culture? What is the difference in a president taking over for 4 years or 12 out of 16 years in Democratic-led presidencies? Why is that not being discussed? See, that's the thing I don't understand. But we'll give a dude a pass coaching, but we won't give him a pass when he's running the country or running a state or running a school or a principal or a president or a teacher taking over a shithole classroom for a shithole teacher that was fired because he let the fucking class run rampant. And then I come in and put the law down and I'm fired because I'm too disciplined and too strong. Come on, homie. We're too hypocritical in what we pick and choose where we are because of who we like and who we don't like. That's what it really comes down to. It ain't nothing else, homie.
You're preaching right now.
It really ain't nothing else, though. It's really who I like, who I don't like, and how he speaks or his tone.
And we all do it. We all do that.
Not the message. It's not the message. It's the tone. It's the tone. That's the difference. And James C., no, I do realize he was the president the first 4 years, and my money was right then. But guess what? 12 of the first 16 years before Trump, it was who ran that country? Democrats. Huh. I don't know if you knew that, James C. But anyway,
homie, you making more money now than you was then, homie. So don't try to.
No. No. Here's the issue. No. Remember this.
Brass tacks on there.
Yeah, I can give you brass tacks. I never got COVID relief. I never got a fucking check. I wasn't making shit.
Hello.
I wasn't making no money, homie, during COVID. So I want to be clear. The taxes have increased tremendously. Every tax, we're taxed on tax, and then
just write off
my properties, all that shit's taxed. Number one, it's way higher, so I'm losing more money now than I ever did before. And I'm trying to be why the interest rates have gone sky high, inflation has gone sky high, and so when you really go brass tacks to your word. I'm losing money, homie.
Hey, JB, good on this little camera shit. That motherfucker got money. I'm gonna let y'all know that right now. We're gonna move forward. Don't let them fool you.
I'm broke as shit. I'm broke as shit. I'm on some up.
Yeah, because you spend $1 million a month. But let's go.
If I had deep money like you say,
yeah,
because you a pocket watcher.
Yeah, I watch your pockets for sure.
You'd be out of the I'm just keeping it real.
But you buying boats and yachts and pools and new houses in Arizona, so that's why you know what I mean. You got to pay Bailey, you paying Paris. You make a lot, but it go out because you.
No, it do go out. It do go out, but that's not even part of
shit.
But that's not part of this part. See, that's the other part. I got a lot of other shit. Shout out, hey, by the way,
turn on himself now. Now he turn.
By the way, shout out to all the cats requesting me for Father's Day for Cameo over the weekend because they're like, I gotta go a couple grand on there real quick. And then, and shout out to everybody that bought a book because I'm overwhelmed. Hopefully, I got enough. Shout out to all you guys.
Keep going.
No, I posted a video, Smitty, and fucking sold out. Like I was like, damn.
I shared to my story because I'm a real one. I shared it because I'm a real one.
Oh, you finally shared something of mine.
I always share your shit like that.
But you didn't collaborate when I talked about the LGBTQ.
I'm never gonna do that.
I didn't even. I tried. I know that, so I also know what collaborate with you on too. Like I don't even
always collaborate with me, please, seriously. And then let me make the choice.
Did you see? I don't like that. I'm white. Did you see the one? I tagged you, but I didn't collaborate with you yesterday. Or what day was it? The Sarah Spain or something. One where I asked you the question.
Yeah, I saw that. I saw that one too.
Because I know you wouldn't collaborate because you like what is it?
Call me soft, call me a sellout, call me whatever. I'm 31 years old. I'm trying to make some money, homie. I care about me and my family right now.
I feel you on that.
I get my mama out the hood right now. So I can't do nothing that's gonna fuck me up and limit that right now. It's about leverage.
In all seriousness, in 10 years from now, you're gonna be like, damn, it's worse in LA than it is in fucking some third world country. And you're gonna be like, damn, homie, I might want to move to Dubai or something. It's so shitty. If we don't stop it, I'm saying, if we don't stop what we're seeing right now and figure it out, we're gonna be trying to get out of this motherfucker. And I'm be honest, I'm trying to stay as long as I can, Smitty. I'm from here. Like that's from you. Like that's like you. Like let's just say you were Pat McAfee, meaning you're actually from Naptown. McAfee's from Pittsburgh, moved to Naptown because he played for the Colts.
Yeah.
Let's say you're in Naptown though, and you're like grassrooted. That's your home, and you had the opportunity to McAfee build a building, build a studio, have your own shit.
Yeah.
You're fighting for Naptown forever, and you had a riot there, and you had some shit happen. I'm trying to be that guy to stay in LA and figure it out, but dog, they're making it so hard. As I get older, Smitty, remember, I don't coach no more. I don't have retirement. So I don't have retirement no more. So now I got to start thinking macro like, dog, taxes, the fucking price of inflation, the market in housing, everything's fucked. Everything's fucked. And it's not just here. It's a lot of places right now. A lot of big cities, by the way, which are mostly Democratic ran, are fucking failing. Chicago, New York, LA. I'm not even bashing them. I'm just saying it's fact. Chicago, New York, LA, Atlanta, Georgia, fucking look at all the cities that are Seattle, Portland. Just think about the cities that are failing right now. It's not a mystery. Like, let's be honest. And if they were a Republican ran, you'd be saying the same thing. Like, keep it real. You'd be like,
I just don't know that, like, you're saying they're failing. Like, I didn't know they were failing. Like, I don't see, like, again, it just depends how you're looking at it, I guess. You know what I'm saying? Because, like, I got a lot of people who live, I got a lot of homies live in Atlanta. I got a few homies live, and they're doing just fine. So I look at it differently. I look at stuff in my bubble. I'll admit that. A lot of time, I'm not looking at this big ass global, like, worldly, how they're, like, I'm not looking at the full, economy of Atlanta. I don't know all that shit. I didn't research that.
Let me ask you this. If
you're the leader, living good, living great.
Let me ask you this. Me and you are the leaders. Let's say you're Karen Bass, and you're in a man's form. You're the mayor, and I'm the governor. I'm Newsom. We're both Democrat. Let's just say we're both on the same side. We're working in tandem. I'm the governor of the whole state of California, from Oregon border to Mexico border. You run the biggest city in America, population-wise, LA, or county-wise, and we have something in common. You know what it is?
What?
We have a chance to get out of debt, because guess what's coming here in 2028? The Olympics. And we're going to burn down the city that's going to host the fucking Olympics and we're not on the same page, we're not willing to accept government support, like, let's keep it funky, homie. Are we not looking at the real issues here and saying, what the fuck are we doing? Are we not getting the Olympics coming here? Why are we burning down the town? Why are we allowing it to happen? And why are we being reactive instead of proactive this entire time when I know the Olympics are coming here? The God's most watched event in summer and winter every 4 years. But I don't want that here. I don't want the Olympics in the city. The money it brings, the all the shit that we could help out with.
Who said that?
Huh?
Why are you? I'm sorry. Why are you saying they don't want it here?
Well, what I'm saying, if you burn down the city, who the fuck's coming here? They're not going to come here. They're going to pull out. The Olympics will not come here during a fucking war, Smitty. Like, let's be honest, a civil war or whatever you want to call it, just straight unruliness in the town. How are they going to expect their Olympic athletes to move around? We wouldn't even let them go to Germany. So what are we talking about? The bottom line is we got to stop, homie, with the fact that right or left, black or white, we need to start talking about the town itself, the city, and the patrons who live in it and occupy the place. Us. Like, this ain't the first riot, sugar on the rim. I just said that. I just fucking broke down every riot we've ever had, you fuck. That doesn't mean that the Olympics aren't coming here. Like, I'm just trying to figure out. See, everyone thinks, Smitty, like, sometimes like you. Oh, it'll get better. Because you're optimistic. Oh, it's going to get better. In 4 years, JB, the Olympics are ways away, blah, blah, blah. Do you know that we've wasted billions of dollars and nobody knows where the money is when it comes to the homeless people living in this downtown? We had a studio there, Smitty, that we were like, God damn, it's hard to navigate around this motherfucker. Motherfuckers just in the street shitting on each other. Like, literally, like, dog. Smitty, I mean, I was watching bitches wipe their ass, homie, shit hanging out. Like, this is a third world, bruh. Like, let's be real. This ain't the LA I know, homie. I'm just telling you, like, I'm just giving you, like, this is where I'm from. I've been around. LA's always been downtown, been kind of fucked up. But it ain't ever been this fucked up. And it ain't never been.
I heard it was way worse a decade ago, homie. What you talking about?
No.
Y'all had no high rises. LA Live wasn't there.
No.
They
No.
building down there now.
No.
Hell
no.
Skid Row been downtown, JB.
Skid Row was Skid Row, homie. Skid Row has moved to everywhere in downtown. What are you talking about? Come on, homie. You got to take it from me. LA's never been this bad.
You never lived downtown. I lived downtown 5-6 years, though.
Homie, my daughter lived downtown. Downtown is not. It's way worse, homie, now. Way worse. I'm just telling you straight out. Way fucking worse, homie.
Well, Money, Muscle, and Entertainment Fad Talk said it was worse. He lying, Smitty. That's what Money, Muscle, and Entertainment Fad Talk said. So.
Motherfucker's 14 years old. And he knows what 10 years ago was, huh? Oh, some of you motherfuckers are.
Shout out to Cheer Chris, man. My biggest hater.
She your biggest hater now?
Yep. She's taking her one place.
She love you.
She don't love me no more. She's changed. All right, man. So Judge Claudia Wilkin has approved the landmark case or landmark.
Wait about him? Can we get this guy to say something? Because he's combating your guy's take.
He's OG.
He's been around LA his whole life.
70 years. So, yeah,
so who's right? Me or this fucking Ja Rule looking motherfucker that just posted his picture in there?
I gotta go with you now because OG Vince. I respect OG Vince. If he said it, then I guess I wasn't here, so I can't argue about shit. I wasn't here. I just know that I've talked to some people who said like downtown, like y'all wouldn't even go downtown back in the day, so there was nothing there, from what I was told. And now they got LA Live, they got the high rises they building. So I heard from that perspective, they're putting more investment and money into it. But you guys speak from a homeless perspective and saying that it's worse there. So it's
not even a homeless. It's the overall macro way to move around in LA has been totally flipped upside down, homie. This ain't the LA. You used to be able to go to LA downtown, jewelry mart district, garment district. Go downtown, homie, get you some cologne and some white teas and fucking Cats don't want to go down there no more. Why do you think so many small businesses have folded up shop? Why do you think we were allowed to get a studio at such a cheap rate? You think I could have got a studio for fucking $1,800 or whatever it was 10 years ago? Fuck no. That shit would have been $4,000, homie. It was premier to live downtown. It was prime real estate to get a studio. They were giving how many studios are available? Spending $1 million. Please take over. Come over here. Because they need to get rid of them. COVID disintegrated LA, by the way, too.
COVID fucked us.
So again, oxymoronic take by Ja Rule. COVID happened and you're saying it was worse then? You fucking idiot. It was worse before COVID. You're a fucking idiot. But anyway, go out and move on, Smitty.
Yes, sir.
Right. We do have a legend joining us in about 45 minutes. Eddie Johnson, the great Seattle Supersonic Phoenix Sun, legend NBA hooper, will join us to give us some NBA updates on the finals and his takes.
I love it, man. I love it. So Judge Claudia Wilkin has approved the landmark House versus NCAA settlement, which will usher in revenue sharing and roster limits to college sports. Power 4 schools will have $13 to $16 million from revenue sharing to spend on football in 2025, but the top budgets in college football this season will touch 25 to 30 million. JB, man, this is huge news, man. I gotta ask you, talk about the impact that this will have on college sports and college football specifically.
We don't know. It's gonna be very interesting.
I missed it by a year, by the way, too. I think 2016 is like the cutoff or some shit I saw as far as like revenue sharing and payments from like previous players. So my last year playing was 2015, so I missed it.
Yeah, I don't know what's going to happen. $2 billion or whatever they're saying is going to be spread out. I don't know what effect this has. What I do see is, to what my point been for the last 2 years with you, as I see the NCAA is going to get broken away from by a lot of these schools. SEC obviously will be leading the pack, and they'll be moving away from the NCAA when it comes to football and probably basketball, to be honest. Since the SEC had 12 teams in the tournament this year or whatever, I believe that conference alone will break wide, as we say in the hood, and that is going to happen with the first conference. And once one does it, Smitty, you already know. They'll follow. So I don't know what it's going to do with the Pavias of the world and these other cats, because they're going to continue to sue on an individual basis to get extra years so they can get more money in college, which only goes back to my whole macro take on why the depletion of good quality product on the football field has died. And that's what I believe. We're getting older in college to stay to get money. And we know we're not NFL worthy because, let's be honest, less than 1% of college athletes are NFL or NBA worthy or will sign a contract. Mm-hmm. And that's thousands a year that play that won't make it. And they know that. And now they have street agents and these fucking, what do you want to call vultures, trying to get money out of these kids during college. And really, the macro level is to get to the NFL, and they just won't do it. And then you're going to have walk-ons, which we've been debating about for a while now. Are they going to eliminate it altogether, which will be tragic, in my opinion, for college football and the organic nature of college football? The fabric, the root of the fabric of college football was walk-ons. And then you had preferred walk-ons, Smitty. And then you had all these other things. That'll be taken away. And so now we're just taking away the fabric, which sounds to me like professional football.
It's this to me, it's like the G League now. You know what I'm saying? Like, this turned to the G League for NFL. Like,
I think you would agree. I think you would agree. That's not what this was intended to do. I don't want two professional leagues. I don't want one with amateurs playing professional. 17 to 21 years old, let's be honest, that's the demographic age we're talking. 17 to 21, let's be honest, that's the root demographic age. I don't want those guys to be professionals already. I don't want to grow my kid up faster than I have to, because life's too short as it is. Right. I'm the first one to tell you. I'm just telling you, I don't know. Yesterday, I was fucking in high school, homie. Like, I'm telling you, it goes like this. So I don't know why we want to accelerate these kids' maturation process, because if you accelerate the maturation process, you get lack of quality. It's just what it is in any world, Smitty, in any business, any company, any profession. If I rush you into learning something, you are going to fail at it. And we fail at giving guys what? We give these people jobs that they have never had or never done. And we think that because they did X, they can do Y. No, they don't. They can't, homie. They haven't even done X yet. But we expect them to do Y perfectively. No, you can't. It's an impossibility. You haven't even had the hands-on experience yet. So, like, I'm trying to figure out why we think 17 to 21-year-olds are going to be the anomaly. And they're going to,
because I feel like everything I'm hearing. Are you saying that you don't think these guys should get paid now? Because that wasn't really your original take. Like when we go back to the beginning, like I think you've always been okay with them getting money. You just didn't like the system and how they were getting paid. But now what I'm hearing your take now was like it almost sound like you're saying you believe the money is affecting the play now.
No, I've always said that. I still say that they should be paid, but not how they're being paid.
What's the solution, I guess? Or do you have one? Like how should they get paid?
I think the money has ruined the game, like at this level. Like the money has ruined the game at this level, college level. Okay. And I would argue it ruined it at the professional level too when we don't demand anymore. I'm all for paying NFL players more and more and more money if the demand is equal. If the demand is equal, meaning play all the games, show up,
right? Play
through some adversity, play through a little bit of nicks and knacks, not just sit out because you have a hangnail. Not saying that's 100% accurate, but you know what I'm saying. Like we used to play through a lot more than what we're seeing now, and we're making more money now. So I don't know if the money is worthy of the performers on the football field, on the basketball court, on the baseball diamond, etc. That's my point. And I think college football is where the grassroots is, right? That's where we teach our kids to go to the NFL. This is a college situation where good friend of mine, Ed O'Bannon, fought for to get guys paid for used their name, image, and likeness.
Shout to Ed.
But that's not what we're doing. We're not paying you off your name, image, and likeness no more. We're paying off of playing. It is paid to play, and we've taken the 1 inch that we got and made it into 1,000 yards, and that's what I think has abused this whole thing. And I'm not for the way we're paying the players, because now it's created a dick measuring contest. JB's making $3 million, I make $400,000. There's going to be ego involved, Smitty. You know, and I know. And I'm not looking at you in the locker room the same anymore. So how am I ever going to battle with you in the trenches, knowing that I have Smitty's back when I know Smitty makes $3 million, I make $400,000, and we play the same position? Like, that's what's happening right now.
But if I'm Caleb Williams, if I'm Reggie Bush, if I'm Tim Tebow, if I'm Cam Newton, if I'm these guys, and I'm generating way more than that for not only this school, but for the NCAA, why does it matter if I get that paid that much?
But that's name, image, and likeness. I have no problem with that. Name, image, and likeness is Arch Manning making the money.
True. But that doesn't change the fact of what you just said. The example you just said. If I'm Arch Manning and I'm making $10 million a year and my coach only making whatever, it's still egos involved regardless. So there's no way around that is what I'm saying.
Yeah. But in the locker room, the coach can no longer go in and motherfuck the team for being this, and this at halftime when the other team the players are looking around like, why am I getting cussed out the same as him? I only make $100,000. That's the problem. There's egos involved, Smitty, when you get paid and you know that you're a 5-star recruit out of high school, but you only got $100,000 because you're a freshman, and this guy over here is making $3 million. And there's still going to be a problem. There's still going to be a fucking problem with, I guess, ego. I will just say egos in the locker room, and you're always going to search for greener pastures, homie. You're still going to go. You just can't tell me that you're not sitting there like, oh, the homie's getting paid over at school X. I'm out. And this is when these people are making decisions, by the way. This is fact because the coaches are telling me they're seeing the messages and they're seeing this post during halftime of games. They're already, I'm in the portal. I'm hitting the portal or alluding to it some sort of way, some encrypted message or some shit during games. Why are we seeing that during games? You can't tell me we're all bought in and we're going to win. That's why, to me, this is the hardest era ever to coach in. And I'm glad I'm not doing it. My ego wants to do it, but I'm glad I'm not doing it at the same time because of what we're seeing Wild Wild West. So I don't know. It's going to be interesting in the next 3 years. And in my opinion, I give it 3 years. Whether we say this is fucking imploded, or to certain people that I've talked to and we've had on the show thinking that it's actually going to come back and it's going to corral itself. And we're going to realize that the money's too much. We're going to take it back. We're going to put a salary cap on it, or we're going to do something to where we equal this thing back down. And then if the players want to play college football and get film and try to aspire to be an NFL player, they're going to have to still go play football somewhere, Smitty. So that's my whole point. Don't play then. Like, are you going to not play?
Right.
So like, we got to get it back to that sooner than later, but I give it 3 years.
So just for my own clarity too, with this new ruling, the NCAA itself still isn't paying money. It's the schools can do it now. It's like they're finding every way to protect themselves. It's like, all right. If you NIL, you get NIL. All right. If you got a collective. All right. The school can do it. When is the NCAA itself going to be the one that has to pay up the money? Because they're the ones sitting back making all the money.
They don't do anything, Smitty. And the crazy part about it is they expect the product to get better. I'm confused with the NCAA because their name's still on it. Last time I checked, there's still names still on this motherfucker. Why are they okay with this mediocrity and this mediocre gameplay? I don't understand it. And then they're only thinking about ways to make more money. All they care about. So and that's evident. And if they ever come out and say they're not, they're just liars. Just come out and say that's what you're about. And I'm trying to figure out why they're okay with this, because it tells me when you're trying to go from 12 teams in year one to 16 already in a playoff, that tells me that you're okay with mediocrity. You're okay with shitty games being played. You're okay with how shitty the seedings were. You're okay with just showing shit at the wall, seeing if it sticks, because you didn't go through it right. And you know damn well that Oregon, the number one team in football, who was undefeated, should not have had to play Ohio State game 2. You know damn well that shouldn't have happened. You know damn well that the buys that occurred shouldn't have went down the way they did. You know damn well those teams in those conferences, based on strength of schedule, should have never been allowed to play those teams or had a bye week. Yeah. But guess what? You didn't do it. You didn't think it out. You really didn't think about the product at all. You only thought about the money. And that's just is what it is. It's exploitation. It's always been exploitation. And that's why I've always said the kids are the pieces of meat in the meat market. And that's what I've been saying for fucking 30 years. The kids will always be the piece of meat in the meat market. Always. But now the coaches have figured out or felt how it is to be frozen from time to time in the freezer. So I'm just telling you, they realize now they're pieces of meat also in this whole thing that we call the NCAA, the non-caring assholes of America.
Said that very eloquently, JB. And I guess
to be honest, mainstream media, like I could actually act like white and fucking do the whole like mainstream media thing, and I could literally be on ESPN and not. I don't think I cussed at one time.
Do a white top. All right, this next topic before we go to break, we're gonna do a quick one on the Colts. I want you to be like, act like you're on TV and like be that version who you're alluding to. Okay, here we go. Per Shane Steichen, QB Anthony Richardson is dealing with a shoulder injury and will not participate in minicamp next week, or I guess it was that this week or next week, for the Indianapolis Colts. JB, should the Colts be concerned about their star quarterback?
Darnell, they should be concerned at the utmost level. The Indianapolis Colts have been riddled with quarterback injury, disgruntled retirements, and so on and so forth. So moving forward, drafting a guy like AR5 that we drafted highly and thought of so highly, athleticism, it was unbelievable through the roof. He has been a disappointment to say the very least. So to this point, Darnell, yes, we should be very concerned because, again, we have wasted dollars on a quarterback potential that has failed us miserably. So now we had to go back and get a guy who was already paid elsewhere in Daniel Jones to now come to Indianapolis because we could not replace the great, the legendary Peyton Manning, and then the next possible Peyton Manning in your guy, Stanford Cardinal legend,
Andrew Luck.
So that's where I'm at. We've failed miserably at the position. And yes, he's been an injury-prone individual, Smitty, and he is yet to get off the injury wagon, Smitty, to say the least. He has continued to be in that training room, being worked on. And at some point, we're going to have to say enough is enough. When do we move on? When does this franchise move on from a injury-prone position like quarterback? That is what is yet to be determined.
Strong take, Jason. Yeah, I agree with a lot of what you said. I believe that this is just a sign that Daniel Jones will be QB1 because you know, as bad as I think he is, he's more dependable than Anthony Richardson is at this point in his career. I think Anthony Richardson will be on the field, though. I do think they'll find some creative ways in terms of how to utilize them in short yardage situations, whether that's tush push, our version of it, whether it's QB sneak, whether that's some situation where you put AR5 back there as like a back, you know, maybe some 21 personnel where you got Jonathan Taylor, Anthony Richardson, and Daniel Jones as the QB, and just figuring out different ways to utilize his athleticism and size. But I do think that Daniel Jones will be QB1, and this is another sign of that. Go ahead, Jason.
That, Darnell, is why he is injury prone, and that is why he continues to be on sideline alert. He cannot be a guy that we put in on short yardage only to get us that dynamic. He cannot be the guy that just gives us that added run game threat from the quarterback position. That is when he gets injured. That's when he hurts his AC joint, because he is a physical specimen who likes to drop the shoulder and run over someone or try to elude him and go further. And guess what? You end up landing on that AC joint, and that is not conducive for the longevity of the success rate at the NFL quarterback position. So again, he has to either be QB1 and learn how to play the position, which entails passing from the pocket, understanding the protection, understanding who's hot and who's not, and ad-libbing and using his feet to extend plays. He cannot just be a guy we throw in and run him as a +1 wildcat quarterback, or he will never play another down in the NFL. So that is the problem that Indianapolis Colts face, your Indianapolis Colts face, moving forward with AR5.
My last line here, Anthony Richardson is 23 years old. He's still very young. He's younger than a lot of quarterbacks who are getting drafted, who got drafted in this year's draft, which is insane, right? Do you think, is there still a chance? Is there, as a Colts fan as I am, as all the Indianapolis natives who are tuning into this show, is there still a chance that AR5 can be great based upon his skill set, his athleticism, some of the flashes that you and I have both seen? Is there still some hope for AR5?
What did Dan Lanning do when he posted that viral video of that recruit when he dove into the pool?
He took his shirt off first.
But what did he do with his hands?
He put up the O.
Zero chance.
Well, hate to hear that, but I asked you a question and you delivered and gave me an answer. So appreciate that, Jason. We got a quick commercial break, and we will be back with more Coach JB Show with Big Smitty. Big time guests coming on here soon as well. Eddie Johnson, and some more debate between Jason Brown and Darnell Smith. Stay right there.
Hey, well, fuck it. I'll go home tonight. I'll drink my yak and smoke my stick, and I'll get it back cracking. infamous one of the palm trees that Ash ate. So.
Can't fucking believe you. See this fucking dog? You see him? Who just eats a whole fucking palm tree, man? You guys are fucking shitting. Just fucking unearthed the motherfucker. Ate the whole fucking thing. Like, who eats a whole fucking palm tree? Like, you fucking shitting me? Are you fucking shitting me? Now, let's check now. Who did it? I'm gonna look at the fucking camera. Who fucking did it? Sit down. Sit down. Sit. Sit down. Now, do we understand each other? Excuse me. There is no more fucking up palm trees. I'm tired of spending all this money, and now I've created a whole fucking barricade for you. So I don't want to have to dig this bitch out. I'm fucking dead. I'm old, my back hurts, I'm fucking stiff as a porn dick. Come here, sit down. Sit down. Boy, if you don't sit your ass down, now, you come over here with me. Come on. Here's what I had to do to fucking stop you. And I got a better, beautiful, bigger tree. So now, we are shitting in tall grass. Replanted it, bitch. Soiled it up. Put a little trellis in here. Put a bunch of fucking stones. Look like Stonehenge around this bitch. And now, Ash, are you gonna fucking try to dig this bitch out? Are you gonna do this? Are you gonna do this again?
Ladies and gentlemen, joining us now is a man who has spoke to every single NCAA college football 2025 team seemingly on the internet. From Last Chance U, national champion, Coach JB.
Yeah, Coach! What's up, gentlemen?
Coach, just great car, great stick. Thank you for pulling off to the side of the road. Hope you don't get killed here. Honestly, the side of the road, LA, I assume, that's not necessarily the safest place on earth. So we'll make this quick. How do you feel about all of these new coaches now in this NCAA college football 2025 game using your speeches to motivate these boys from one side of the country to the other, Coach?
I feel broke.
Yeah.
Like, it's crazy. Can I get like a royalty or something? Like, Netflix already screwed me. I'm getting screwed by EA Sports now too? Like, holy shit. I hit him up. I reached out to him like, hey, trying to be cordial and nice. I'm a nice guy, you know me.
Yeah.
And I was like, hey, EA Sports, maybe I can actually be your video guy, the actual do a real video instead of using my name, image, and likeness.
Oh, shit.
And maybe I can get a little piece of the pie, but nah, it's all right. Just keep sharing my 500 million views of it.
I don't mean to laugh at you, but obviously you are a hilarious, miserable person, and this is kind of is how it goes.
Hey, Pat, I was actually chilling. My back went out yesterday, so I didn't even do my show today. So I just left my chiropractor, and I'm waiting on this damn cigar company to open. They're late, of course. I mean, come on.
Shit.
Okay, so life is good. Last question for me, because I know the last time we talked to you, you had not watched the Netflix series Last Chance U. You said that. You said, I've not watched it, but obviously you've heard from everybody. Now, do you see some clips that come across your way? You're like, I don't remember saying that. And then all of a sudden, oh, I killed that. And do you judge your clips whenever you see them? You're like, I murdered that one.
Nah. A broad came over to the house the other day, and I didn't really want to watch Netflix with her and chill. But she wanted to watch the show. We watched one episode.
Okay.
And I'm like, I can't watch this.
Okay.
And she was like, oh my God. I'm like, I don't want to watch this. It was the first scene of the cow scene or whatever. And I'm like, yeah, they only made about $4 billion off my name on this shit. I'm not watching Netflix either. So I'm spiteful right now, Pat. I don't want to watch Netflix. I don't want to watch EA Sports video game. I'm like, man, and I can't even get 40,000 subscribers on my YouTube channel.
Well, you're going to the moon. We appreciate the hell out of you, Coach. Hopefully it'll get figured out, and we know the Netflix and chill thing, what that leads to. Bad backs, chiropractors. We appreciate you. Ladies and gentlemen, Coach JB.
Yeah, Coach. Back in the building. Shout out to Pat and the boys. They did like a little skit of me the other day on their show, I guess.
Really?
They drop little takes I use, and it's funny. I think I reshared it on Instagram or something, but yeah.
I ain't watching.
You don't watch anything I do. So, Smitty, Eddie Johnson's going to join us. Legend. You know what I want to know? I'm going to save it. I'm going to save it. I'm going to ask
that, man. Let's talk about some big news right now in the football world, man. Let's talk some sports for once.
What's good? For what?
Let's talk some sports, homie. Packers, man. Packers released Jaire Alexander after 7 seasons. This happened this morning, y'all. Packers made attempts in recent weeks to keep Jaire on a restructured deal, but talks didn't get that far. Now he's being released and becomes a big-time free agent. Man, I mean, I know he's a big personality and, you know, he's a trash talker, all that, but he makes plays on the field, man. Which team you think could benefit, you know, the most from bringing Jaire into the squad?
Pittsburgh. You better load up right now. Where you have Aaron Rodgers 1 year, homie. You don't have time. You better go get him. You better go get a couple wideouts, and you better figure that out real quick because Pittsburgh.
So you said Pittsburgh should do what the Rams did the year they won the Super Bowl, basically.
They have to. There's a couple of teams that I would go to get me over the hump. Here are the teams. Number one, in my opinion, the Commanders. The Commanders are that close to possibly getting over the hump. The Rams. The Rams are a team that we thought could have beat the Eagles, should have beat the Eagles, and they're that close. Again, secure that secondary, which may be one of their weaker links in LA, the Rams. And third team, in my opinion, would be the Pittsburgh Steelers. And the fourth team would be a team that needs to get better, that aren't close, but would have the money, would be the Giants. And that's just me speaking about knowing what's happening. Now, helps the Giants maybe get closer, but they're not there. But those other three teams are teams that can possibly win a Super Bowl or have a shot at it. So those are the teams that come to mind for me right now, right out the gate. But I'm sure there's other teams. I mean, obviously 30 other teams that would love his services. I don't know what they're willing to pay him. I don't know his contractual obligation in Green Bay. Does someone owe money? Do they have to pay somebody? But he was released, though, so I don't know what that stipulation has. Sometimes you're still releasing, you got money on you. So I don't know what the deal is with that, but we will see. But I know there's some teams that I could see getting them.
Do you think your guy Pete Carroll would potentially be interested, or is he not tall enough? And I know he likes the long, tall corner.
I think they're straight already. Miami comes to mind. Miami comes to mind if they do indeed get rid of Jalen Ramsey. So Miami could use him as well, I'm sure. And it's warm weather. He's also used to the cold, so he has to go play Buffalo and New England twice a year. Maybe that's a guy Miami goes and gets. I don't know. I think that makes sense. He's unbelievable in cold weather, and he's played there for the last few years. So guess what? Miami makes sense too, because you need some players that actually know how to beat cold weather teams in November and December. Miami hasn't figured that out yet, as they were 0-11 to one point on the road in cold weather games. So I think he fits a few places. Depends on what Miami does with Jalen Ramsey. Even if they keep Jalen, get him too.
Shit, you could, man. I'm trying to look up some different rosters and see what the depth chart's looking like as far as who needs a corner right now. I know you mentioned the Steelers. I'm just trying to think through this, who actually needs a corner. But then you got to think about money on top of that. But he's a baller, man. Whoever gets him is going to be.
I don't think he's washed, because when you go to a new place and you're still in that age demographic of still having some years, it's not like he's 33 or 35.
Yeah, he ain't washed. He's still making play. I think he got a little hurt last year, but it wasn't nothing too crazy.
So but my overall point on that is a new place also rejuvenates you and re-energizes him. So I could see wherever he goes is the critical this year because it's critical for that team, because that team should know that you're going to get a great year out of him,
right?
Unless he's hurt or something. So I would give him a 1-year deal somewhere and see if he could figure it out and help contribute right away.
Now I'm with you on that one. I do like him in Pittsburgh though. Like you said, for this year, motivated. You got Mike Tomlin, and you already got a really solid, defense right there, put together already. You know what I'm saying? Now I know the Steelers, they did pick up Darius Slay, but Darius Slay's older, right? I don't know if I'm assuming he's gonna start, I would assume so, but again, he's the older cat, you know what I'm saying? So you got him, you got Mika at safety. But then you got Joey Porter Jr. at the other corner. So I don't know, man. They got some dogs over there on that Steelers defense already. So we'll see. We'll see where he lands. But I'm definitely intrigued by it because this guy makes plays. He's competitive, and I think he'll be a big addition.
But I saw Buffalo. Somebody chatted in the chat. Buffalo makes sense, but I don't know what their situation is. Buffalo they're another fringe team. So are Baltimore. So is I don't know. The Colts are pretty solidified in the back row, I think, but they could probably use them as well.
Kenny Moore up there.
What about the Texans?
Yeah, I'm over here just looking up different depth charts right now. The Bills could be a real good one. I think the Bills could use a corner like that, honestly.
Yeah,
I'm looking at their roster, you know what I'm saying, and they do a lot of injuries too. I think you put them there. You got Tyler Rapp at safety. They picked up Joey Bosa this offseason at D-line. You still got Milano. I think he got hurt last year. Hopefully he's healthy. So, yeah, I don't know, man. It's intriguing. But I if I'm Jaire Alexander, I'm only going to a contender, though. I mean, I'm obviously, if he's getting released, though, it must be it's a money issue, I'm assuming, and he's not, probably one.
Does he have the luxury to pick, though?
That's what I'm saying. I don't know.
Is he revered in the league as still a guy that's good? Is he worth the risk? That's what we don't know.
Yeah. I guess we'll find out, though, man. Some other news as well in the free agent world. A Browns free agent, running back Nick Chubb, who we know was, been a baller throughout majority of his career outside of obviously that bad, horrific injury. I believe I don't know if it happened officially yet, but it's as long as the physical goes well, he'll be signing with the Texans. That's pretty much what the word on the street is. Is it official, Bailey? It happened officially, like he signed? Is that what they're saying? Okay. I mean, I see the picture right here. I guess so. All right.
And he's back. He's back with the Texans. Or he's with the Texans?
I guess so. Yeah. Yesterday when I looked, I saw that he had to get a physical. He was meeting with the team, and as long as the physical went well, that he would sign. And this is my first time seeing it. I see the picture right here. It said he signed. So I guess he's back with the Texans. If he's healthy, it's great. If he's healthy.
Yeah, I think the Cowboys missed out on a possibility right here. I think the Cowboys could have used a guy like him in a bad way. I think the Cowboys would have been a big time get, in my opinion, for the Cowboys. But maybe they know something I don't know. I mean, I'm sure they do know something we don't. Obviously, they're in there. But what I'm saying is, I don't know if – I think the Cowboys missed out on a couple veterans in the backfield.
Yeah. Who do they got? Javonte Williams and Miles Sanders. Yeah, I think it would have been good to have Nick Chubb. But to counter what you said, though, the Cowboys have tried to go the veteran route, too, though. They tried to bring Ezekiel Elliott back. They brought
but that's two veterans.
But they had Dalvin Cook. Like, they tried to go that route with guys who are veterans and had some injuries in the past, and it didn't go right. So maybe with them, they're like, man, you know what? Let's keep it young. Let's keep it fresh. You know what I'm saying? And let's just go this other route. So I understand where they're coming from as well.
Yeah. Smitty, before Eddie joins us,
yes, sir.
There's some teams being fined by the NFL brass because they didn't accept Pride Month or at least acknowledge Pride on their website or in their team locker rooms. I believe the Broncos are one. Your Colts are one. I believe the Raiders are one. Who ironically also did a whole, indoctrination of Nassib, who we talked about, and put him in the Smithsonian. But I have one 5-letter word that screams to me as to why they didn't do it. And when I'm asked by other folks, why wouldn't those teams adhere and put it on their website and blah, blah, blah. I have a word, Smitty, that I like to use that I want to know if anyone else agrees. The 5-letter word, Smitty, is pride. How ironic. How ironic. The word pride is being used for what month? Pride. Make it make sense. Why can I be prideful and have pride as to not adhere to Pride Month? I'm curious to get your take on that.
Pride, huh?
Pride, homie.
Just pride. That's the word. I don't know. It's interesting, man. I think, listen, we talked about this last week. These teams, the league is trying to make this thing inclusive to everybody, and it's all a money play, in my opinion. I think these teams, social media, teams, whatever, have the choice to, if they want to post it, they can. If they don't want to, they don't have to. I don't know if Roger Goodell put out like a league-wide thing to all 32 teams saying you have no choice but to post something about it. It's probably something where it's like, hey, this is what we're doing. We'll love the support. But if you didn't want to post it, you don't necessarily have to. And that's, to me, that's probably more along the lines of what they did. And obviously, there's certain states. You think about Indiana, think about the Colts. We know Indiana's a conservative state. I'm not surprised that, that the team didn't want to post that, because the market isn't on the side of the LGBTQ, plus community. You know what I'm saying? Like the majority of the fans that you would think about, like the Colts, for an example, are going to be people on the opposite side anyway. So again, when you're using social media, you want to appeal to your market. So, to me, that's more so the reason why some of the teams probably didn't do it. But that's just my, that's my read on it. I didn't know they were getting fined potentially, though. That's interesting.
I read somewhere they were being fined if they didn't adhere. They haven't been fined yet, but if they didn't adhere to it, they were going to be fined in the coming days. So we'll see. I'm curious to see if they're fined or not. If they are, I think if they are fined, I think those teams or those owners have some, have some valid points to stand on to say, I'll sue you then. Like what part of First Amendment is that?
No, for sure. And like I said, I was trying to look up to see if there had been fines or if they were thinking about it. I hadn't seen anything yet, but
I want to know why the NFL, who we've known and I've coached, sent 28 guys to the NFL. Why aren't we promoting the shit out of Father's Day? Is that month too? And it's also like Veterans Wellness Month. And it's also like all these other things. I don't understand why every fucking month we're getting force fed this shit. I just am sick and tired of it. I think we're exhausted of it. I'm tired of fucking having to be force fed some bullshit about transgenders playing girls and fucking Pride months and Pride days. There's 260 Pride days, homie. Stop. Nobody wants that shit force fed on them. I don't force feed straight days on you. Like, I'm just figuring out, why can't I just fucking push the shit out of straight days? Fuck a bitch days. Like, fuck pussy day. Like, I want to fuck pussy. Like, come on, homie.
They do have a steak and blowjob day.
That's the part of ESPN won't take me on.
That's the.
But I want
money.
It's also Men's Mental Health Month, isn't it?
Yeah, I believe so.
We push all this mental health shit all fucking year long, and then it's funny that it's Mental Health Month, the same month as Pride Month, and I haven't heard one thing about mental health. Fucking irony is that. It's crazy, isn't it?
Your timeline is fucked up though too. I always tell you that. That's part of it.
Why?
Because like you're so like into the topic of LGBTQ and girls playing in men's sports and vice versa, like your feed is all the stuff that you like hate, because that's how social media works. It's going to show you what you're into. So that's why I think you're angry all the time. I think I text you like Saturday. You sent me something on Saturday and you was pissed off about it.
I sent it to you only. You notice that?
Huh?
I only sent it to you.
Yeah, you sent it to me separately. And I'm not reading it. I'm just saying, like, you sent me something.
No, I'm saying because I'm a real one.
Yeah. And I hit you up and I'm like, JB, go get you a Paloma. Go get some bitches. Go get some. It's Saturday.
I was on the boat when I texted you.
Saturday is sunny
I was
outside.
on the boat. Beautiful day. I was on the
boat. You over here pissed off.
Yeah.
Your feed is fucked, homie. Like, sometimes just be happy sometimes, Jason.
No, you didn't say that at all. You said
you live in anger.
You said you got misters. You got misters. You always go back to my misters outside, homie, on the house.
Yeah.
You said I got misters making a Paloma. But you said
find it verbatim. I said go get a Paloma, homie, and eat some brisket. It's Saturday. You got the #1 show on YouTube. You got the Miss fan in the back. Be happy, homie. You don't even live in LA. I said, let me worry about the quote illegals. I'll take care of it. That's why I said verbatim.
So have you taken care of it?
You don't live in LA. This ain't got nothing to do with you. You live
that's false narrative.
You live fucking Riverside, homie. 7258 Riverside Lane, and you got your initials on the gate. Like, it has nothing to do with you. Like, I'm in LA.
So hold on. So if I go fuck up Indianapolis, you can't do nothing about it. It's not. You have nothing to do with it. You don't live there no more.
Yeah, true.
That's not true at all.
I can make calls. I can make calls.
That's not true at all. That's not true, homie. That's asinine to say. Disrespectful as shit.
You left, homie. You left.
I never left.
You left the hood, homie.
Even when I lived in Kansas, I never left LA. Don't get it twisted.
Don't chuckle like that at the end. That's
I am LA, homie. I am LA.
Don't keep doing the laugh, homie. I started that laugh.
I might go down there and start grabbing bricks that they place eloquently throughout the city and start throwing them at motherfuckers.
And they're gonna beat the fuck out you.
Shit, I bet you they won't. You know what's funny? I was looking at that. I was looking at them burning that flag. And you know what's funny? I didn't see any Mexicans burning it. It's weird. I saw a brother in there for whatever reason. I have no fucking idea why he was in there. And then
love Mexicans. That's why.
Why is that brother right there with the goggles on? And then why is that fat white girl? And you know what the funny thing is?
A lot of Mexicans right here in the background. Actually,
they're not Mexican, homie. That's Hamas. And let me be honest. Let me throw this out there too.
Stop saying that, bro.
Why does everyone have a mask on if they're such a protester and they want to be noticed and seen? Why does everyone have a mask on, homie? I'm just trying to figure out, why do we want to cover our face if you're so fucking bout it?
Well, a lot of people don't have their face covered, but because a lot of these people got jobs and stuff. So, your face can't be out there.
Oh, why are you burning a flag?
Again, I'm not. You
They should all be fired. They should all be fired.
Make sure I stand on that. You should not burn the American flag. I'll make sure I stand there. I'm just saying, the reason why protesters are wearing masks, they don't want their face to be shown because of cameras and stuff like that. And everybody at your job may not feel the same way.
And you know what's funny? The people out here that keep saying, why didn't Trump deploy the National Guard during J6? He did try. They denied him. Go look up facts, homie. They denied the National Guard at that state during the J6 fucking riots.
I thought you told me earlier that you can't deny that though.
Remember, he was in that state. That was DMV. That was in DC. That was a state and federal deployment. He had to get approval from the National Congress. Congress had to say what? We allow the National Guard or not. They didn't. They didn't allow it, homie. California is not. He can go where? National and say, all right, now I'm going to fucking put this out because we have a huge issue going on with who? Law enforcement. Now Marines involved. Now National Guards involved. And we're going to allow them to get pummeled? Can't be.
I don't know. I don't know all the rules, so I can't push back with a lot of stuff. That's why it'd be good to get somebody on here who really know to break down shit like that as a guest whenever we bring this shit up. Somebody on both sides. Somebody both sides though, not the side that's gonna favor everything you want to talk about. Somebody that's both sides. We get real discussion and conversation that makes it a realest show. I think that'd be good so we can get real, because I don't know all the rules shit. I really don't. I'm not gonna come on here and fake it. You know what I'm saying? So, that's how. Look at my arms though. Them biceps look strong.
Why are they so little?
Them biceps strong now, homie.
But why are they so compact, short?
They strong now, homie.
Like it looks like
I have a great wingspan too. Like,
but is that the baby? Is that the baby meme? The AI shit.
Yeah, I don't know who did that. I don't know if Betty did it or Kevin the trucker or I have no idea. It's my first time seeing the picture. They said he didn't do it, so I guess it came from social media. But I remember doing this flex though. This was when I was on Speak for Yourself. I was doing my segment.
Oh, so that is you?
No, this is definitely me. They just photoshopped the Pacers jersey and goggles and hat on me.
Interesting.
Chris said, Freedom of Information Act. You can find out most things if you look deep enough. You're right, Chris. I just ain't got time.
What? Why you keep bringing up Chris?
Because Chris is my biggest hater. So I'm just reading all the stuff when she be hating.
Nah, she defends you too, though. See,
I ain't got time to really be deep and dive into all this
Chris
shit.
is a real one. Chris is a real one.
Like 24 hours in a day. You got to choose your hours wisely, homie. And I'm just not in the space.
You call cats in here that go at me real ones. Why is Chris not a real one?
Because she a hater. Because you're going against me, homie. You go against me, you're a hater.
You go against me, you're a real one.
Talk about it. You said it. Because you be spazzing out. I come here with some balance. Even if you disagree with me, I come here with some balance. Once you get mad and emotional, you say a whole bunch of stuff. You be saying stuff you don't even know you said it. Like, we'll talk post-show. You be like, what? I said that?
Chris is denying everything you said.
It's all good. But we got a big-time guest here, JB, so we can talk about that, a little bit later.
Yeah, the pride of Chicago. Legend, watching him grow up. Hoop, man, from Michigan State to the Phoenix Suns to you name it. Got to see him play in some critical Seattle Supersonic days, the Charlotte Hornets, and your Indiana Pacers, Smitty. Mm-hmm. A legend to talk some NBA hoops, talk some NBA finals with one of his former teams, the Indiana Pacers. The legend himself, Eddie Johnson, joins the show. Eddie, how you doing? How you doing, brother?
Good. Yeah, you said Michigan State. You're probably thinking about when I hit that shot against Michigan State. But I'm fighting the Illini. I'm fighting the Illini, baby. I wish I had a T-shirt over here to show you,
Illinois beating Michigan State.
Yeah.
Let me ask you. I got a question for you right out the gate that I was holding. Chicago, Indiana, New York, LA, probably revered to as the four states with the best hoopers. Where's Chicago at? Are they one?
One.
Ooh, you guys are that real quick. I'm from Indianapolis, Indiana. First of all, appreciate you being on here, legend. Tell us why Chicago number one and why you answered that so quickly.
Well, first of all, Indiana is a suburb of Chicago, so I'll throw that out there.
Wow.
Gary, Indiana.
I'm from Indianapolis, though. I'm from the city. I'm not from Gary.
Yeah, I know, but Gary's just like a suburb. They hang out in Illinois more than they do down in Indianapolis. You know that.
Y'all can have Gary. That's fine.
No, we have the best, and I think the success in the NBA proves it. Like, we've had a ton of players out of Chicago. I mean, I would be on here for 2 hours if I had to name them all, but I'll just go quickly. I mean, Mark Aguirre, Isaiah Thomas. Anthony Davis, Maurice Cheeks, Jalen Rose. I mean, come on, man. It's not like our Chicago Summer League that we had in Chicago, and all due respect to New York, Rucker Park, and all that, I get it. But everyone came to play in our Summer League. That's before the NBA had their Summer League in Vegas. Like, everyone would come to play in that summer league. It was just all pros. And so, yeah, I'll pitch Chicago against anybody, all due respect to all of them. LA's produced a lot of tremendous players. New York, obviously. Indiana, they've had a few.
Larry Bird, Shaun Kemp from Indiana, Glenn Robinson, Eric Gordon, Jeff Teague.
When you just said, that means you ran out of names.
George Hill,
But-
Greg Oden, number one. I'm the name. No, a long list, sir.
Well, I
Long
mean,
list.
all due respect to Greg Oden, I don't think you want to,
Injuries.
we talk about high school. If you
Injuries.
talk, he was tremendous in high school.
In Ohio State.
And without a doubt, he was tremendous in high
Jeff
school.
Teague, come on, Smitty. He named Hall of Famers. You name him role players.
I start off with Larry the Legend. He can't give me one player better than Larry the Legend. I'll wait.
Well, it all depends. I'll tell you this. I beat Larry. He beat Magic. Okay, and he beat Jordan.
So what you saying?
The most of anybody. I didn't say he was better than Larry. I just said he handed it to him. They beat them. So my point
Larry
is,
got his three though. Larry got three more than two.
Listen, all due respect to Larry Bird, I mean, he's one of my favorite players ever. But we said the most. We didn't say one.
Okay.
Right.
That Randolph. I mean, I can keep going.
Well, in that case, you can argue that that North Carolina had the greatest players then, since it's Jordan over there.
Right.
Like you
Exactly.
can't do that. Like you can't do
South
that.
Carolina, Smith. They got John, Zion, and KG. Like, come on. Every state has somebody.
I named like 15 players, but it's
You
okay.
know, I thought the question was who has the most. And I think if you look up Basketball Reference, I think you see top scores in the history of the game. I would surmise that it's more Chicago products on there, and LA products on there than anybody.
Let me ask you this, Eddie. Current landscape with the NIL and the transfer portal and everything that's going crazy right now in college athletics, the Wild Wild West, we could say. Does Eddie Johnson stay home and is he an Illini in this current landscape?
I probably would have stayed at school because they probably would have paid me enough. I don't think they would have let anybody outbid them to let me go. And the reason why I say that, and it's not being, big-headed here, Illinois for a lot of years, they couldn't get anybody out of Chicago. And right before I got ready to come there, Audie Matthews was one of the first, but he wasn't a Chicago product. He was more of a suburban product near Chicago. But Audie Matthews went there. And then right after that, Levi Cobb and Neil Bresnahan went. And when those two guys went, and they were highly thought of, then it opened up the floodgates, I think, for people like me to look. And at that point in time, I was right after them. And I was on a high school team with Mark Aguirre, Skip Dillard. We were all on the same high school team. And, those two guys went to DePaul. I decided to stay in state, but I just didn't want to go in the city. And so I decided to go downstate to Illinois. And, at that point in time, I think I was an All-American going there. And I think, they hadn't gotten an All-American at that school in I don't know how long. And so it opened up the floodgates. And then you got after that, Nick Anderson, Ken Norman, just so many guys that started to go there. Man, I don't want to disrespect any of my guys. Kenny Battle, all these guys started to go there. You remember the Flying Illini, when they had that really tremendous team, Kendall Gill. That's when the floodgates opened. So for me, if the NIL was back in my day, I don't think they would have afforded to let me leave, because then it would have probably locked them out again in Chicago. So that's what I'm saying.
Good point. What's your take on the current landscape? What are you seeing nowadays with these kids getting this money and how it is? I'm all for getting money and all that. I just thought the way that they're doing it now, it's turned to pay to play. It's not name, image, and likeness as it was intended to be, I think. What's your take now watching these youngsters get this money? And is it watering down the NBA? Because I think in college football, it's watering down the NFL, meaning that they're staying later, they're older, and I don't believe we're being developed like we once were. I think now it's watering down the professional levels of all sports, baseball included. Where are you at with the current landscape?
I'm not happy with it. I haven't been happy with it for years because I think we have subservient people training our kids, and it's affecting us at the highest levels. And look, I'm all for the kids getting the money. Look, the NCAA, that was on them. You know, for so many years they were in the back room hogging all the money. You know, forcing you to wear shoes, and they're getting paid for it, but we weren't. And then they throw in our face like, "Oh, we're giving you a scholarship." Well, you know what you can go do with that damn scholarship. You know,
Right. Yeah.
I mean, but we didn't know that at the time. Like we were like, yeah, okay, whatever, but we couldn't even work. Like the NCAA rules said we couldn't even work a job. So Eddie broke his whole college career, you know, and for me, I never wanted to take money under the table. I never did. And I could have, but I never did, man. And the reason why I didn't, I learned from watching my brother. His name was Michael. He was a tremendous basketball player out of the city of Chicago. Went to Texas A&M, had a great freshman year, made all freshman team, highly thought of. But he would admit he had his hand out. They were taking care of him, and he shunned his grades. He took his focus off of school. Then he had to leave because he wasn't qualified. He wasn't eligible. And then, he eventually played for the, Washington Generals and Globetrotters for a number of years, and he had some success. But he should have been in the NBA. And I watched it, and I said, I'm not going to do that, no matter what. And when I got recruited, trust me, I mean, it was schools offering me houses for my mom to come live in that city, offering me jobs that were going to pay me $100 an hour, and I never really had to do anything. Alumni offering me money, offering me a car, and all those schools I shunned. And Illinois didn't offer anything. And it's just me, man. It's just like, I wanted to be successful. I didn't know I was going to make the NBA, but I wanted to go to Illinois, get my degree, put myself in position to see if I could make the next level and just work on my game. And look, the way I looked at it is I grew up in a family of 7. My mom raised us all. And you know what? Man, I was broke all the time any damn way. I was used to being broke. I mean, it didn't bother me to be broke. I knew how to circumvent it, how to get my way around it. And I did. And so I try to tell kids that. I try to tell young kids that all the time, And so since you said that, I'm going to hold this up. Sorry, guys.
You're good.
I wrote this book years ago. Okay. It's called You Big Dummy, An Athlete's Guide to a Successful Career. And you can get it on Amazon still. It's been a bestseller on Amazon for the last 8-9 years. And what it is like a mini Bible for parents to really put their kids in the right direction and for kids to understand what they need to do to be successful. And I put my face on the cover because I made a lot of dumb moves and did a lot of dumb things in my young athletic life. It didn't cost me at all, but still, nobody's perfect. If it ain't nothing wrong with you, it's something wrong with you. Woo! So I wrote that book, man. And so for me, the grassroots, guys, is the problem. The grassroots is the problem. You think about it. You're hiring coaches to coach high school teams and they're math teachers. What the hell they know about basketball?
Nothing.
Seriously. They're just taking the job because they just make some extra money. And they don't even make a ton of extra money. They might make maybe a couple of $1,000s extra.
Stipend.
Yeah. And so you got to find coaches. People that's in basketball. Basketball is a class. Like, you can major in that. And if you major in that, you can make $50 million a year. So name me a curriculum in high school and college to where you can go within 3 years out of college and less, right? Because a lot of times they leave out of their freshman year and make 20, 30, 40 million. You can't, a doctor, a pilot, none of that, right? So why would you have a subservient person teaching these kids? That's the issue. And then you have these guys out here that's creating these freaking spaceman drills for these kids and all these dribbling classes and all this junk. And they're not teaching them the nuances of the game, getting from A to B, C to D. They're not doing it. And so these kids come into the league and they have to be retaught because the colleges can't teach them. They only get them for 1 year. So now the NBA has to recalibrate them. and take a chance on them. And they're raw, and they can do this, but they can't shoot. They can do this, but they can't defend. And all of a sudden, they got to teach them. But yet, they're paying them a ton of money when they could have gotten taught this at the grassroots. And you have these trainers, and you have all these different guys out here creating these crazy drills and these skill things, and these parents are falling in love with it and think, oh yeah, and they just don't understand. You watch Jaire Alexander. Is he out there trying to cross people over?
Nah, he's smooth with it. Get to a
He
spot.
going left, he going right, he giving you up fakes, all of that. And he averaging 30. And they teaching these kids all this stuff here, and all it's doing is wasting time and ticking your teammates off. So for me, I am, and they don't like me, and I don't care, but they're stealing money from parents. That's what they're doing. They're charging these parents $50, $100 an hour, and they're not teaching them kids jack squat.
Nothing. It's football
Jack
too.
Squat, man.
Football
And,
too, Eddie.
yeah.
Same shit. Football.
Yeah, and it's just, and so now we're wondering, guys, why the international player keeps getting MVPs in our league.
Ooh.
Think about it. Seven straight years.
That was my next question. We keep throwing, shit at the wall to see if it sticks in the NBA. In my opinion, and Adam Silver, like with the All-Star game and the in-season tournaments and all this stuff, they're trying to make the league more viewable when the views are down. For what reason? And now they're going to add the Euros or the World versus America in the All-Star game next year. You just alluded to it. The last 7 MVPs have been Euro.
And we going to get dusted. You know why?
Charles Barkley said that.
We're going to get dusted. You know why? Because they're going to play hard. Like, they're going to perform because it's huge for them. It sends a message back to their homeland. Yeah, we just beat the Americans. The league have tried to keep that separate for a long time. But these guys come into the All-Star game. They don't play hard. It's like a circus. I never watched the game. Never. And I'm there for All-Star break, working on Sirius XM NBA Radio, my show that I have, every day, 5 days a week, Monday through Friday, 4 to 7 p.m. And so I go there to do my show. But as soon as I do the show, the first 2 days, and then the player, I leave. I don't even stay and watch, because I already know what I'm going to see. And it's disappointing. And I think Adam Silver's doing the right thing now. You're not going to play hard? We'll embarrass you. Because we know those other guys don't play hard. We know the international player is going to play hard because they want to prove something. And so the American players in for one next year, if that comes to fruition.
Eddie, is it true that Kobe said years ago, like the Euros practice and they practice 5 days, they play maybe twice. In America, we play 5 times and practice maybe twice. It's completely swapped. Fundamentals and the grassroots of the game is being taught over there, where over here it's AAU, obviously the street agent that I think you referred to. I call them street agents, these trainers who don't know anything out here screwing these kids for money and their parents. Usually a single mother that doesn't know better, who's trying to work 3 jobs and is like, oh, you're taking care of my baby. I know you can get my kid a D1 scholarship. All this BS that we hear. And they got a Santa Claus bag of tricks in their thing talking about sit down in a chair and shoot and all this crazy crap. And we're like, when are you going to do that in the game? Is that true to what you were saying? Are the Euros doing that over there compared to what we're doing here and just playing to show our athleticism versus fundamentals?
The thing about that, and I spent a year over in Greece and over in Athens. I played for Olympiacos. It's kind of funny. I just got a phone call a few minutes ago. One of my buddies is over in Greece, and I told him before he left, I said, all you got to do is mention my name over there, and you'll get free dinners, and they'll love you. He didn't believe it. And he's been over there about 4 or 5 days. And he's texting me all the time. I said, man, I just got a free meal. Man, these people miss you. They love you because they're loyal over there in regards to their sports. And I had a tremendous year over there. I went over there in 94, 95. And one of the best years of my life playing over in Greece. And when I was over there, guys, and I'm not kidding you, and I'm a 35-year-old, I think, when I got there. We went 2-a-days for 9 months.
Damn.
For 9
months. We played twice a week. We went 2-a-days for 9 months. Now, when it first started happening, when I got there, I was like, okay, hold up now. I'm 35. In my young days, it wouldn't matter. I played 24 hours. I mean, my mom had to come get me off the court at 2 in the morning. It didn't matter.
Right.
But when you're 35 and you're having to do that, and then after about a month of having to go through it, I started to love it. And that's what I did, man. We get up, they get us up in the morning, either take us to a golf course or a track. We had to run. We had to go to the gym. We'd have to shoot. Then we come back like at night, we practice. And then, and then we play, like we scrimmage. We played. We played all the time. We scrimmaged hard. We played basketball. We took what we worked on in the morning and we actually scrimmaged. We played. And they didn't have unique books. They didn't recreate the wheel. They was over there reading John Wooden books. They just was doing the basic drills that I did when I was young. And went out there and played. The problem with our young kids now is they don't know how to balance when to work on their game and when to go play. And they lean too much to the go train on your game. Okay? It's almost like, guys, we can sit up and we can go watch Perry Mason or CSI, and we can just sit up there all day and watch it, right?
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden we go out in the street and we think we're CSI agents. Right? We think we're lawyers because we watch it all the time.
I watched that last night. I promise you.
Right. And see, and we'll argue with somebody that's actually a lawyer.
Yeah.
He went to school. He's been in courtrooms.
He actually do this.
Right. I have a sister, man, that she acts like she's a doctor. Every time she gets some medicine, she says, this works for you. You should do this. You didn't go to medical school.
That's not my
I'm not listening to you. So the issue is for our young kids is like they're the wrong people grabbing onto them and teaching them. But also on top of that is the most pure thing to do is just go play. Like I'll tell you guys, if they're playing with the right people. Now you got to play with the right people. I grew up in the city of Chicago, all ballers, right?
Yeah.
So I get up in the morning, and after I've watched the game the night before, and I grew up a Bulls fan, so I'm watching Bob Love, Chet Walker, back in the day, Norm Van Lier, Jerry Sloan, all those guys. And I'd go out there before everybody got there, and I'd try to remember like how Bob Love shot the ball. Chet Walker was like a pump fake guy, right? Jerry Sloan and Norm Van Lier played hard. They was aggressive. And I'd take that, and I'd be out on the court by myself, going down one time. Like one time I'm going down, man, I'm Kareem shooting a hook shot. I'm Dr. J trying to do this, right? And I'm trying stuff, and I'm working hard, though, right? Like the way you work hard is you go at game speed. Early in my life, I remember somebody told me, Eddie, whatever you do on the basketball court, you go at game speed. And I always remember that. So I'd play one-on-one, really one-on-none by myself. And I'm out there on the court. And I'm working on my shot. I used to shoot from down here. And so I started watching the great shooters, man, John Havlicek and all those guys. And I saw that the release point is here, Eddie, not shooting it from the hip. You get it blocked all the time, right? So I'm working on that, developing my shot. And then, you know what? Everybody starts showing up at the court about 10, 11 o'clock. Already been out there 3 hours.
Working.
And now we're playing. Now I'm working on stuff.
Right.
Like all night, all day, playing 21. Like these kids don't do that now. They don't do it, man.
Eddie, no disrespect. They don't know the Eddie Johnsons of the world, though, that paved the way. That's why I'm so animate about the respect factor. Smitty and I argue all the time that, Draymond Green and Baron Davis had a little podcast, and they talk about the respect of the elders and the lack thereof. As Draymond Green said, he's like, I don't respect the elders. And Baron Davis said, well, you have to. They paved the way for you to make hundreds of millions of dollars now in this league, regardless of what you think. But it's to what you just said, in my opinion, like the point of all the old heads think alike for some reason. I don't know why. It's ironic. But anyway, Smitty's young ass, 31 years old, he's like, two things could be true type of scenario. And I'm just like, man, I just think that the fabric of this game is being lost from what you just said. We're not doing that no more. And that's why it's a hard watch. We've had NBA players on this show the last few months that all are like, JB, I'm be honest, I channel surf now watching NBA games. It's so hard to watch. Is it hard to watch now? I know you mentioned the All-Star game, but are these finals or, four of the 5 games in the Western Conference finals were blowouts, 30-point games. Like, this is just not fun to watch anymore. The competition, just shooting threes. I don't know if the game and the fabric has been lost. Is it hard to watch for veterans like yourself?
Well, look, I've been calling Suns games for this will be my 26th year upcoming. I never thought I'd be doing it this long.
Shout out to you.
It gets hard. And, look, analytic people will tell you they don't like me. They don't like me. I rip on analytics all the time. And they tell me I don't understand it. I'm like, I've been looking at numbers my whole career, but I look at the basic numbers. Okay. If I shoot 10 for 20, that's 50%. Right. I don't want you to compute in their true shooting percentage just because you want to compute that the 3 is harder than a 2. I don't give a rat's ass about that. I want to see the ball go in. Yeah. So wherever, regardless I shoot it, I know I want to shoot close to 50%. And in the prime of my career, that's what I was doing. I was shooting high 40s, 48, 49. That's what I was shooting, okay, because I was a jump shot guy. That's what I did. And so for me, that I paid attention to that stuff. I didn't try to, nobody could put me in a corner and say, oh, yeah, you just take those shots. Oh, yeah, you shoot better on the right side of the floor. Man, go kick rocks. I shoot well from anywhere. And so for me, and analytic people try to, well, Eddie, we would allow that with you. No, you're not allowing it. You would have said something. And so, yeah, the threes are an issue because it's taking away the beauty of the game. Now, the intentional foul has helped. The take foul, because now you can't do that. You remember a couple of years ago, guys just grab people, right? Yeah. So they taken that away, and we've seen more fast breaks. But the beauty of the game is hurting, and I'm always arguing this point. One, because they've really limited the and one. Now they're talking about a gather. Before, you see guys all the time like they get attempting a shot and they got fouled, but they say they didn't gather to shoot. And I'm like, back when I played, you got fouled, you allow one more dribble to complete your shot. Right. And so those things are gone. But, look, the league is trying to make it better. Like, we do have 2 teams in these finals that I think play a balanced brand of basketball, right? Agreed. And it's amazing that these are the 2 teams that's left. Like, they'll shoot threes, but they don't shoot them like crazy. Like, Boston won a title last year. I don't think they'll win a title again shooting like they do from 3. I think teams have caught up to that, and they've balanced their game out better. But yeah, the teams that take a ton of threes trying to emulate, what Boston did last year, I just think it's a mistake, man. 3 is more than a 2. Yeah. But a 2 is worth more than a brick 3. Like, so come on, right. Man. So yeah, so that it bothers me. It does. I played the game all around, and Draymond saying what he says, maybe Draymond should have been out on the court longer to be able to work on that jumper. Now he's been fortunate to be able to make a ton of money based on what he does, okay? And based on playing with Steph Curry. He needs to get Steph Curry 20%, 30% of his money. Man, because if it wasn't for Steph, Draymond could be a guy. He would have probably made some money, but he wouldn't be making the money he's making, because most teams wouldn't have been able to live with him in the way that he plays because he can't score.
We had Chris Childs and Samaki Walker on. They said exactly what you just said. He's like, he should be paying Steph Curry, and he should be telling Steph, I'm sorry for not being a better shooter, because we may have won a few games against Minnesota when Steph went down. But Let me ask you something. So your maturation process from high school, inner city Chicago, you get to Illinois, and you play for a legend in Lou Henson, and he passed away. Rest in peace. What did he mean to you as far as the maturation process and growing, and what he meant to you as far as the game itself? How much did you learn from that tutelage?
Man, look, if it wasn't for him, I wouldn't have made the NBA. Sometimes you have to be humble in certain parts of your life. And like I said, I went to Illinois, All-American. I was the number one player. I was the most valuable player out of the state of Illinois my senior year, traveling all over the world, playing with Magic and all-star games and all of that as a high schooler. And so when I decided to go to Illinois, it was a lot of hoopla and everything, about me coming there. And so when I got there, we were, doing our, up and down playing before the season started, before practice started in October. And I'm just getting my butt knocked around. I was 185 pounds, 6'7". That Illinois team at that time was a veteran team. I think it was only 3 freshmen on that team that came over. And I was probably the smallest one of all of them. And I remember Lou Henson walking over to me. Eddie, that's how he talked. Eddie, you can shoot the ball, but it's hard to shoot when you're always on your back. And, I soak in anything somebody has something to say to me about basketball. They might not know it a lot of the times, but I take it to heart. I truly do. And it didn't hurt me. It just alarmed me. And so my freshman year, I might have played 15 minutes, 14 minutes a game. I didn't play much at all. People labeled it like a disappointment. People thought I would transfer because Mark Aguirre, who was going to come to Illinois with me, he and Skip Dillard, once they saw that Lou wasn't playing me, they said, no, we're going to DePaul. And they went to DePaul, and they had success at DePaul. And they tried to get me to transfer. And I told them, I said, no. I said, he's right. I got to get stronger.
Yeah.
And so I went to our weight coach. His name was Coach Kroll at the University of Illinois. I said, Coach, I'm going to live in this weight room. I said, you're not going to get a complaint out of me. I will be here 5 days a week. We do legs a couple of days. We do arms. You run me. You stretch me. I will be here. And after the season, that's exactly what I did. I didn't go home. I stayed there, went to summer school, bored to death out of my mind because it's a college town. So everybody's gone. And here I am still in school.
Yeah.
And when those dudes came back, I was 225 chiseled.
Damn. Eddie,
like, what, 40 pounds. Dang.
I can't believe it. I didn't even know at the time, but I don't want to keep you. I want to ask you one thing to your point right there. The kids now, and that's what I meant earlier when I was like, when I got into the game, but the kids now, respectfully, they don't know Eddie Johnson. They don't even know who Shaun Kemp. They don't know any of this. To your point of, I mimicked the guy. I watched him shoot, and I took my shot from here to here because of player X, Y, and Z. These cats now are getting paid so much money in college, but they don't even know they're greats at their own position.
No.
We've talked to football players, and I'm asking when I was coaching them, I'm like, you don't know who Eric Dickerson is? You don't know who Bo Jackson is? These kids have no clue. And it's like the investment in the actual profession to me has become so lackluster because all they want is gimme, gimme, gimme. And they don't want to give anything anymore. And I think that's what's kind of ruining the game. To that point, that's what I was trying to make. But my last question is, Eddie, real quick, the Supersonics, obviously some great teams you played on. You think Seattle gets a team back?
Yeah, they'll get a team. Vegas will get a team. I think those are the two cities. I mean, I'm not saying it definitively, but in my heart, that's what's going to happen. The league can't have expansion and don't put a team back in Seattle. That's a great fan base up there. And then Vegas obviously is the new place. The league allows gambling now. So in the past, they probably wouldn't have gone to Vegas because of that. But now it's a part of sports. And so Vegas will have a team and Seattle. So yeah, I think it's a couple of years away. Also, the league is developing an NBA over in Europe. So it's going to be basketball is huge, man. Obviously, soccer will always be the number one sport in the world, but basketball is second. And I think it's getting ready to just blow up a higher level. And so kids need to understand there's going to be millions and millions of kids trying to play this game. And if you don't work on your game, and you get attached to the wrong person teaching you, you got to know that he's messing up your opportunity to get generational money. And so you have to make that hard decision to say, not you. And I can walk in the gym, guys. I can teach a kid how to shoot and give them the nuances in 30 minutes. You got these guys charging these parents thousands of dollars over the course of a summer, and just to get the money and drag the kid along slowly, and then the kid still can't shoot.
Wow.
So that's part of it. They don't like me. I don't care. I love the game. I've trained kids forever. I've trained a lot of NBA players in high school. I used to be with Adidas Nations. And so I know what I'm talking about in that. And I just want kids to have success, but I want them to be skilled. And when I'm watching Shai Gilgeous do what he's doing right now, and I watch Halliburton just stay within himself and play the game the right way, Siakam and his footwork and all of that, like, you understand and you see why these guys are winning. Like Aaron Nesmith, how he's in go with his defense. Jay Will he's out of Arizona.